Hello. Where's Claire?
Oh, hello. Sorry. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, okay. So should I just go? Like, when should I go? Oh, okay. So, three, two, one, go. Hello, everybody. I'm playing Super Mario Sunshine. Uh, this is like one of the most popular speed games, I think. But the category I'm doing doesn't get enough love, in my opinion. I'm doing the 100% category, which is 120 shines. So normally, you just get the seventh shine in each mission to beat the game, and that's it. That's any percent. For this category, I'm gonna get all 96 shines plus 240 blue coins that are spread throughout the game. So it should be a good time, and
Oh
hopefully,
my
in the end,
goodness.
it'll be 120 shines total,
Now,
and that's all
boys,
of
don't
them.
touch that stuff.
So sorry, I have a question right away.
Oh, okay.
Is the any percent run like is it just that seventh shine that triggers the opening of the volcano or
Yes. The seventh shine of each world is the Shadow Mario shine, and all you need to do is get all those to get to the Corona Mountain.
I am most concerned with the
mind
well-being of the princess.
blown?
Dreadful thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Master Mario, if you would, rush over to that
I guess
shore
I'm gonna
and find
introduce
some assistance.
I'll introduce myself as well. My name
Oh
is
yeah. Hello.
Tielqt. I was on for the last run. I use she they pronouns.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. It's going to be super fun watching Super Mario Sunshine because I played this game a lot as a kid. So now seeing it again, being run like this is going to be tremendous fun.
Yeah. I hope it's a good run. Hopefully I can do some cool things that look cool and stuff.
Of course. But this first bit is like this is all auto scroller, isn't it? Like you're going as fast as you can and it's unskippable cinematics.
Yeah, there's like 6 minutes of cutscenes at the beginning of the run. However, funnily enough, uh, over the past month, the Sunshine community has been holding a poll for whether or not to include other timing methods on the leaderboard. And actually, just this morning, like two or 3 hours ago, it was announced that there were going to be different timing methods that let you skip these cutscenes that are allowed on the
Oh,
leaderboard. So
thank goodness.
yeah, so one of them is you basically right after this cutscene we're watching now, you would save and use that file, and it would let you skip the first two cutscenes. And the other is to use a pre-modified save file that lets you skip the first 6 minutes of cutscenes, and everything else is the exact same. So it'll make running this game a lot more fun.
Yeah, it means that like effectively you take out a minor reset point if you mess up this lava piranha plant here.
Yeah, it would make resetting much much easier.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I'm excited for that. So yeah, I'm gonna fight the piranha and then time a backflip, and then I'll be right underneath the shine. So something I want to mention about the routing real fast is I said earlier that I'm getting all the shines, and normally you just get the seventh shine of each mission and go to Chrono Mountain, and that's the end. In this run, I'm actually going to be going to Chrono Mountain twice. So the first time, I go just to get the blue coins because there are 10 blue coins in there, and then the second time I go to beat the game. So it actually ends up being faster to pretty much just collect the seventh shine of each level and then go to Chrono Mountain like right away. Oh, what should I do about that? I should probably turn down this TV.
Court is now in session. As you are no doubt aware, someone has been senselessly defacing Fair Delfino Isle using some paint-like substance. The accused is charged with polluting our beautiful home, and yes,
Oh, hello,
endangering
is
our
it better?
very way of life. Indeed, how can one not be aware of what is going on? Though it is daytime in Delfino Plaza, our poor residents tremble beneath a veil of darkness. Expert shrine scholars have determined that this darkness has arisen because of all of our guardians, the shrine sprites, have vanished from their gathering spot at the shrine gate. The reason? It's quite obvious. This horrible graffiti is to blame. Behold this sketch of the perpetrator based on eyewitness descriptions. The truth is obvious. The guilty party sits among us. It is none other than Mario.
Objection!
Overruled. I judge the defendant guilty as charged.
Is the
I
audio all
hereby
good
order the
now?
defendant
Is
to
it
clean
better
this
or no?
entire island. Until Isle Delfino is completely free of his vile handiwork, Mario shall
I
not
hope
be
it's
allowed
better.
to leave.
I hope so too.
Let's hope. Let's hope it's. Yeah, let's hope that that's good.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
By the way, I'm going to be watching chat for questions. So if you have questions about this run, because I haven't seen this run really before. So if you want to watch if you want to ask questions, I can forward them on to the runner if you put them in chat.
Yes, I can answer questions.
Shine sprites are the source of power on Isle Delfino.
Yeah, as far as routing this category goes, we actually just get the 7th shine of each mission as quickly as possible and go straight to Corona Mountain. So the first half of the run is kind of any percent except with a bunch of blue coins and a few differences.
It is most pitiable.
All right, so we got a couple questions right away, actually. So first question, what is the current world record for this category?
The world record is 2 hours, 58 minutes, and I think like 20 something seconds. So just under 3 hours pretty much.
Second question this is from Popeye Otaku. Does this run have any Popeye references?
It does not, unfortunately. Not that I know of.
Get rid of all that ugliness. And remember, we'll be
Unfortunate.
We'll know if you start
Mint Kuro asks, why do I love frame fatales as much as I do? I think that's a you question, Mint.
It's a great event. That's
It's a great event.
okay. So right away, I did some cool movement to get to this piranha plant. It only saves like a second, but it looks cool, so I wanted to do it. And because there's downtime after I kill this, of course I'm gonna have to go get a blue coin. So I'm just gonna run over to the prison cell here and grab a blue coin. If I had timed it better, that text box wouldn't have shown up at all, but it's no big deal. So yeah, that's the first coin. Yeah.
I've got another question from chat. This is from Gert56. How much of a nightmare is it to learn all of the blue coin locations?
It's actually not as bad as you would think. Because like the blue coins, you don't really memorize them separately from the shines. Like each level, you memorize the route, and that just includes the blue coins. So it's actually not as hard as it would sound. After just a little while of running the category, it becomes pretty easy to remember where everything is. So yeah. Okay, so there I tried to kill Shadow Mario quickly, and if I had killed him quickly enough, he would have run down this way instead of going the other way, and that would have actually saved some time, but he didn't. So I've got some time to wait for him. And while I'm waiting, I'm gonna grab this blue coin. Actually,
I've got another question while you're waiting.
Alright.
From Jabels in chat, how long have you been running Super Mario Sunshine, and are you trying for the world record at the moment?
Well, I'm not trying for the world record at the moment. I don't know how long I've been running. It's probably been about 2 or 3 years now. Sunshine's not really my main speed game. I don't really have a main speed game. But yeah, I'm not going for world record at the moment, but I do want to get good. At some point, hopefully.
I got my fingers crossed for you.
Thank you. I'm
So
gonna
now
try my best.
we're into the first area of this game now, right? Beyond the square.
Yes, Bianco Hills. Funnily enough, the first mission of Bianco only shine that the developers intended for you to be able to skip. And I'm actually gonna skip it. Also, this spider here is like orangey where he is. You can just bounce off of him. I'm gonna skip it because after each shine, depending on certain criteria that are met, you'll get these little cutscenes of the plaza, and those lose about 3 seconds. So I want to try to avoid those as much as possible. So by skipping the first shine, I skip one of them. And I just come back for the first shine later. Because it turns out scrolling all the way from shine 8 back to shine 1 is quicker than watching one of those cutscenes.
Jeez.
Yeah, so those event cutscenes, we skip pretty much as possible, and that's why I go straight to Corona Mountain. Because after I leave Corona Mountain, they stop happening altogether. So it ends up saving me a good amount of time. So yeah, just fighting this Corona.
I got a couple questions if we have time then.
Yes.
All right. So let's see. From Faye0611, what is your favorite part of this run?
My favorite part is probably everything after like the first half. Probably just because I've done the first half more than anything, but the second half I think is really cool. And there's like a few shines in particular that I think are really fun that don't come till much later. I mean, the whole run's interesting, but the later
I remember
half,
a lot of the late game level design being like really, really cool.
Yeah.
Like is it Noki Noki Bay? Is that
Yes, Noki Bay.
one of them? Yeah. I really like the design of that level and like the hotel casino. I remember the manta rays like scaring me as a kid.
Yeah,
like
this game has a lot of good level design.
it really does. So from another question here. Let's see. We've got come back to me. Maybe we get a donation here?
Absolutely. We have a $10 donation from Frozen Flygon. Frank Paytals has given me a home in speedrunning this past year. So beyond happy we are helping Malala Fund change girls' lives throughout the world. Good luck with Super Mario Sunshine, Claire.
Thank you, Floyd.
Okay, I've got two questions now. If you have time for them.
I do have time.
Excellent. All right, so 120 shines. Does that mean that there are no major glitches or skips?
There actually are some there are some like minor glitches and a couple of pretty big skips. And a lot of that is because, like I said earlier, scrolling from Shine 8 backwards is actually faster than watching one of those cutscenes. So the goal is, for the most part, going to be to get the 7th Shine as quick as possible. And there's there's one major skip in particular that lets us skip a bunch of shines, but we have to come back from later. But yeah, there are some pretty good skips.
And another question here. What's your opinion on Sunshine casually versus it being in a speedrun?
I think Sunshine's really fun casually, unless you're going for 100%. I think looking for the blue coins casually is really boring and really annoying. At least when I played through casually, I didn't really have fun looking for them all. But speedrunning, I think it's really fun, and I really like the routing. Speaking of routing, while I'm fighting this plant, I run up and get another blue coin. And then I'm going to do another cool skip called Travel Skip in just a second. So I'm going to hit this guy for the 3rd time and run back to Bianco Hills as quickly as possible. And this basically skips the travel time from going from Rico Harbor back to Bianco Hills. Because I go right into the place after the cutscene finishes.
And you get a cool glitched cutscene there.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah, it's really glitchy too.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's funny. It takes like 10 seconds.
His eyes were missing. That was upsetting to look at.
Yeah, it's kind of freaky. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear my controller. The R buttons and L buttons are kind of obnoxious on the GameCube controller.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're running this on real hardware, right?
Yes, I am. I'm running it on a Wii.
On a Wii. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you've got those nice like clicky GameCube controllers.
Yes, I do.
It was one of the best features of those GameCube controllers, if you ask me.
GameCube
Kind of
controllers
mechanical
like my favorite
keyboard feel to them.
Yeah, I really like GameCube controllers, honestly.
It'd be interesting if we could get a version of that worked on PCs. I'd love a GameCube style controller that I could use to play anything.
That would be nice. I would like that. Okay, so this next level is like the first major bit of RNG. This game has a lot of RNG in it, and this level is the first bit of RNG. So I have to fight PD Piranha again, but this time he's gonna just go all around the place, and depending on like I can only shoot him down when he stops. So I want him to stop in the best places for me to shoot him down. Because there's like, oh, I fell. There's like a bunch of different patterns you can have here, but a lot of them are really slow. So I want a good pattern. But the good news is, since a lot of it is downtime, if I get a bad pattern, it's fine because I can get a bunch of extra blue coins during the fight. And any blue coins I don't get, I have to get later during the 100 coin mission. Like these linked X's here, since PD moves during the cutscenes, it's actually just a great idea to get them now instead of later, while we're waiting for him.
Some advanced stunts there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this game has really cool movement also.
I think like even a casual observer would notice that pretty quickly.
Yeah, for sure. These like dudes are annoying, but yeah. So yeah, depending on where like the pattern he takes, I can either have a really fast Bianco 5 or really slow Bianco 5. And so far, it's pretty good.
Getting another blue coin there while PD takes a little nap, psychs himself up.
Yeah, this mission has a bunch of blue coins in them that I can get if he gives me decent patterns. Those little pink dudes are really annoying, by the way. If they attach themselves to you, then you can't spray, so it's just annoying.
Yeah, I remember them being annoying trying to fight this boss
Yeah,
when I was playing this game casually.
yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna say I have also I've played this game casually on an emulator somewhat recently. I've got to say, like, the art style really holds up if you can see it in full 1080p. That's
Yeah,
an
the
experience I recommend.
It's true. The art in this game is actually surprisingly good, especially for GameCube era.
Yeah, it's surprising how well the assets actually hold up when you start up-resing them that far. So you're going from what, 360p to 1080?
480.
480. Okay. It's
Yeah.
not a small jump.
It's true. Yeah, this game's pretty impressive as far as art style goes, I feel.
It's like this and the Galaxy games, honestly.
Yeah, the Galaxy games, for being Wii games that were released over 10 years ago, they're really good. Okay, so real fast, I'm actually going to save my game. That's because I'm about to do a trick that, if I do incorrectly, can actually soft lock the game, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to save. Okay, so now I'm going to go unlock Gelato Beach, and just like previous Piranha Plants, I'm going to do stuff while I'm unlocking it, but instead of getting a blue coin or whatever, I'm going to get a shine. So hopefully I do that.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, that would be nice. So I'm going to spray the beach to get this shine to spawn, and while the plant dies, I'm going to grab it. Now, the thing is if I go too slow, for some reason, it soft locks the game, so I need to go fast. I also need to listen to this guy real fast, because...
You gotta love it when conveniently just you need to go fast in order for things to work properly in the game.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Copy that. Sorry about that.
So yeah, I did the trick right. I shot the Piranha Plant, and then as soon as I got the third hit, I went straight to the shine. And if I'm just like a half a second late, then the game just doesn't continue. It just soft locks, which is annoying. So, major skips from earlier that person was asking about. This is the first major skip. If you ever watched speedruns of this game, you know about the skip, but it's called Gelato Beach Skip and lets you skip pretty much the entirety of the level. So I'm gonna grab a few coconuts and then make my way over to the shine. Because the shine that's over there is actually the 8th shine of the mission, and it's present in all of the missions for some reason. So you can actually clip in and grab it early.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say this is the roof clip, isn't it?
Yes, you clip into the roof. So I need to throw these coconuts. I need 2 coconuts because one of them I'm gonna throw into the blender for a blue coin. And okay, there's my coconut. I didn't know if it's from the water or not. So I need to line myself up and keep my angle, which is why I'm jumping like this. You make sure I don't lose my angle that goes straight on. So I'm just gonna grab the blue coin from earlier, and then hopefully I get this first try. Okay, cool. So by clipping into the roof like that, I can just get this shine, which is actually the 8th shine of the world, which means now I can scroll back and get the 7th shine, which unlocks the Growing Mountain, as I've mentioned before.
Way!
Hooray! So yeah, that's like probably the biggest skip in this game, both in any percent and in 120.
How much
So-
time does that save if you had to guess?
In any percent, I think it saves like 10 to 15 minutes. Oh, I don't know if it's that much. It saves a lot of time. It's probably not 10, 15 minutes, but it's a really good skip to know if you're gonna run this game. And so, first Shadow Mario fight.
All right, while we do that, I'm just going to remind chat. I'm taking questions from chat, and I'll relay them on to our runner, Claire, here. So if you want to ask something about this run, please feel free. We'd
Yes.
love to help people learn more about this game, learn more about this run. And it helps me learn, too, because I'm very, very new to this scene.
Yes, it's a cool run. So if you have questions, be sure to ask. So I'm actually going back into Gelato Beach here. It's actually slower to go back in here by about 3 seconds. But I come back in anyways, just because I prefer to get Gelato 5 out of the way. Because this is actually a really RNG-based shine. So I like to do it as early as possible. So if it doesn't go well, I can just reset. So I need to race this Piantissimo fellow. And he takes a set path every time you race him for the first time. He's kind of like Koopa the Quick from Mario 64, but in Mario 64, when you beat Koopa the Quick, he actually speeds up and goes faster. This guy doesn't do that. So while I'm racing him, I can get blue coins and do whatever I need to do. So I'm going to make my way straight to the flag and get these bluebirds, which are the bane of my existence. They can be chilling on the tightrope, so they can be flying around for like an hour. But either way, they're just not fun to deal with. And you need to spray them a bunch to get the coins. So if I get lucky, I can get all of them before Piantissimo makes it to the flag at all. But of course, that would require really good luck. And of course, I didn't get good luck. Oh, there's a bird there. Okay, so I got one of the birds. I'm actually going to get the other one later because he flew away and I don't feel like waiting for him to come back. And there's actually another shine in like an hour and a half where I'm up in this same place again. So I'm just gonna wait till then. And if I get lucky, then it shouldn't lose time at all. And yeah, that's the first trip to Gelato Beach done already.
Hey, nice work.
Thank you.
So here's my personal question right now. Do you think you're on a good pace? You're about 23 minutes in right now.
I think this pace is pretty good. Yeah. I don't know if it's PB pace, but it's definitely
No, but
good.
it's a good average pace.
Yeah, actually comparing against my average segments, it's ahead. So yeah,
Hey,
hooray.
very nice.
So yeah, and now I go straight to Pianta Village, which is supposed to be the last level in the game you visit, but you can actually visit really early. And it saves a lot of time. And these chomplets are really annoying too, because they can be, each one can be in 2 different spots pretty much. And depending on which spots they're in, I can either have good RNG or bad RNG. And it looks like I got best RNG for this, which is nice.
Excellent.
So yeah, just spray the chomplets and put them in the water. Now I do a little pause here because it actually skips Flood's text that he was saying. So by doing a pause there, I actually can skip that altogether.
Calling them chomplets has just reminded me of my favorite thing that I just learned a couple days ago that's somewhat on topic-ish. Did you know that frogs, when they are, like, partially developed into frogs, but are no longer tadpoles, are called froglets? Because I didn't know that, and it's adorable.
That is adorable. I also did not know that. That's great, actually.
That's a frog fact for you, everyone.
I love it.
I have a handful of questions here, if you have time for them.
I do have time, but first I'm just going to mention there's another Piantissimo race, so during it, I'm actually just going to get a bunch of blue coins, and if I do it right, I'll still make it to the flagpole before he gets there at all, so I shouldn't lose any time from that. But yeah, you can go with question.
All right, so questions. This one comes from Gino Amy. Can the RNG be manipulated by entering a level X time from loading, or?
As far as I know, there's no real way to manipulate RNG in this game. At least not, like, consistently. But, I don't know, maybe in the future something will be found out about that. But as of now, there's no, like, strats to get good RNG. But I wouldn't be surprised if it worked like that. Also, my game's quiet, but a fun thing happened called Sound Glitch, which only happens in the Japanese version and is very rare. So I'm kind of surprised I got it in this run. So Sound Glitch, basically, when I get a shine, like the sound doesn't play for some reason, and it just has some weird effects on the game. For instance, if I die, it takes like 10 seconds longer, so it's just ridiculous. So hopefully I don't die. And if the certain sounds just play differently. Certain cutscenes take longer, and probably the most consequential side effect is that the game is more prone to crash, which is definitely not a good thing for this run. And it lasts until I turn off my Wii. So what I'm probably going to do is just save like consistently and hope that the game doesn't crash. But I'm actually I cannot believe I got Sound Glitch during this run, because of the 2 years I've run on Japanese, I've gotten it twice in my life. So that's exciting.
Apparently it's happened a couple times during this run, which is interesting.
Yeah, once it happens, it stays for the whole run.
That's fun.
Yeah, so basically every time I get a shine, it's gonna like sound weird. And every time I go back to the plaza, it's gonna load weird. It's just weird. It's a weird glitch. I don't know why it happens. I don't think anyone really knows why it happens. But it is Japanese exclusive.
All right, I have a handful more questions if you're ready.
I am ready, but first I do want to mention that level, you're normally supposed to like go underneath the underside of the village, but I just kind of like damage boosted over the lava and then got a bunch of blue coins that are exclusive to this shine. So yeah, that was a fun level to do. But yeah, questions. I'm ready now.
All right, so this comes from Lee Bennett. Do you use any of the attachments on Flood? And if not, why?
We do in specific shines. There's a number of shines throughout the run where it's faster to use them, and a few shines where we use them several times. In the plaza, there's actually a few shines that you pretty much need the attachments for. I'm gonna get those way later. There's one cool trick that we use rocket nozzle for, which is my favorite trick in the run, but we'll get to that later. But the answer is yeah, we do use the other attachments other than just the hover nozzle. So this is another RNG base level. This guy can pretty much start in one of 3 places. I got the best RNG, luckily, which is nice. But yeah, I can pretty much just kind of manipulate him to walk right into his pool, and it's really, really fast. And yeah, that's that shine count to 4. It's kind of a silly shine, but
Apparently, people want more frog facts in the chat.
ooh, I like that.
I got frog fact actually. I think I figured one out. I remembered this. Did you know that frogs eat with their eyes?
I did not know that. That is interesting.
Yeah, they can't swallow. They don't have any muscles in their neck. So they actually just push their food back into their stomach with their eyes.
Interesting.
It's bizarre. And someone in the chat also pointed out that frogs also eat their own skin, which is also true. They shed and eat their own skin.
Interesting. that's
It's weird.
that is weird.
Frogs are so weird, and I do love them.
Yeah, they're pretty crazy.
I have more questions.
Okay. Oh, also,
All right.
I fell there and exited the level instead of dying, which is just better because I don't lose a life. But
Yep.
yeah, this is an RNG based shine pretty much. Once I get into the actual secret area, I'm gonna use a glitch to get into the actual secret area. By the way, it's called Yoshi Skip. Normally you need Yoshi for this shine, but if I do
Yep.
this properly, I won't. But yeah.
Yoshi Skip is when Yoshi does tax evasion, right?
True. Yes.
All right. So this comes from Hans Tuma. What are some movements that are good for casuals to start learning?
Well, first of all, by the way, I missed Yoshi Skip, so I had to exit the level. Movements that are good for casuals to learn. I guess one big thing is when you spray water on the ground and slide in it. That's actually the fastest way to get around. So I mean, that's something. I've been doing that this whole time, and I'll keep doing it. I don't really know of any other like good movements. Most of the speedrun is just using like casual movements but doing it really fast. You know, like
Makes
there's
sense.
really things like spin jumps and all that. But that's the only thing I can think of that's maybe not like readily apparent to a casual player.
This comes from Leo Cantus. And what category is easiest to get into in Super Mario Sunshine?
I think.
Congratulations on Yoshi Skip, by the way.
Thank you. Third try. Yeah, that's Yoshi Skip. I actually need to do that twice in this run, so hopefully I don't fail it again later. What was the question again? I forgot.
The question is, what category is easiest for people to get into in Super Mario Sunshine?
There's a category called No Major Skips. It's actually on the category extension leaderboards, not on the official leaderboards, but it's basically any percent except, well, actually, hold on. I need to focus on fast, please. It's basically any percent except without some of the harder skips. Also, I died. I'm sad. So yeah, I would go if you wanted to do a beginner friendly category. I would say do no major skips. Also, the death takes forever because sound glitch. So even better. I would say no major skips if that's what you're looking for, and then you could. And it's really easy to translate that skill over to any percent too, since there's only like a couple skips that differentiate the two. Also, what happened there, by the way, is I got a cycle called Early Cycle, which is pretty rare actually. And if I had done it right, I would have actually made it over early. So basically, depending on what RNG I get, this guy can be over here. And if I get here when he's here, then I can just go straight over. Otherwise, I have to wait for him to walk all the way around.
While we wait, why don't we have a couple donations?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Absolutely. We have a $50 donation from Laura Makes Art. They say, gasp, a surprise GDQ, and for a cause I deeply care for. What a delight. Thank you all for all the hard work and unseen dedication that make these events possible. Best of luck to the runners, and let's support girls all over the world.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
So yeah.
Do we have time for another donation while the shine is being got?
Yeah.
Sure, we have a $25 donation from Arden. My partner and I have watched various GDQ events together, and I'm excited to add Frost Fatales to the list. Love to my partner Alex, the runners, host, and crew. Heart emoji.
Okay, so this shine is actually interesting. We get a bunch of blue coins here. For some reason, I guess I just ran out of places to put blue coins. There's well, we have to spray off 10 Piantas here, and 8 of them give me a blue coin. So, yeah, I don't know what to do with that.
That's a high percentage.
Yeah, like almost all of them. All of the adult Piantas give me blue coins for some reason. I don't know why they did it like that, but I mean, whatever. This guy,
Strange.
yeah. I tried to spray this guy earlier from like behind the fence, but I actually missed the shot, which isn't too big of a deal. So yeah, so in addition to those 8 from the Piantas, there's also a couple of like M's we get. And then
I remember thinking that M design when I was like a very young teen. I remember thinking that was like the coolest thing. I drew it on like a couple of my binders and stuff in school. It was great.
Nice. So one other thing I want to point out about this mission is that when I release these Piantas from the ground, I guess, there's actually like a little bit of time before I can actually spray them off, which is why I'm trying to spray them as early as possible, so that as soon as I get there, I can start spraying them off. And yeah, that's Pianta 6. It's actually one of my favorite levels. But it's not quite over. One thing about this level is that water management is kind of tight. Because you have so much water.
Yeah, I'm noticing that. You are really low on that.
Yeah, I have pretty much exactly enough water to do the whole thing. If I do it right, I have a little bit extra. And then I'm going to do a cool trick, which is I'm going to spray that blue coin and grab the shine, which lets me collect the coin while I'm collecting the shine, which basically just skips the save box.
Yo!
Yeah, this is a cool little trick that it actually happens in 2 different places in this run. So yeah, that was the first one. It's a really cool little trick. So now the 7th shine in Pianta Village. This shine, I get a blue coin that's like way out of the way, that there's just no other fast place to get it. Because after I beat Shadow Mario, the shine takes like a couple seconds before it becomes collectible. So while it's doing that, I'm going to run over real fast and get a blue coin. See, that's all over top of this tree.
Goodness, Mario can carry his momentum.
Oh yeah, if you do a dive rollout on a slope like that, you actually keep all of that momentum and you run really fast. Which is
I noticed, like, dang.
Yeah, and I'm gonna save there just because if I crash because of sound glitch, I don't want to have to. Yeah, I just want to make sure I have a backup.
We don't want to have to reset. That would be
not a good thing. So now I'm gonna do a trick called Honey Skip and a trick called Jelly Skip. So that's Jelly Skip, getting that blue coin there, and then Honey Skip is actually gonna be slow because I have a sound glitch, but I'll do it anyways. Okay, so I messed it up. Okay, so if you die on the same frame that you enter this cutscene, you can actually just skip the cutscene. So I was doing a setup there that would let me die on the same frame that I entered. I messed it up, unfortunately, and have to watch the cutscene, but honestly, it's not a big deal. I have sound glitch, so Honey Skip would have been slow anyways, so whatever. And then Jelly Skip, getting that blue coin early is called Jelly Skip. And that's actually a harder trick than it looks like, because if you are just a little bit too far to the right, You get stuck behind the like jelly, and yeah, you pretty much have to like lose a minute to just die, and then you have to go back. So I'm glad I got that. And
So I've got a question real quick from chat here, if you don't
okay,
mind. From Mr. Devlin. Question: how many blue coins are in each area?
each area has 30 blue coins, including the main hub world. So there's 7 worlds plus the hub world has 30. So 30 times 8, 240. So yeah,
That's a lot.
yeah, there's a there's a lot.
That's way more than I was expecting.
Yeah, there's quite a few. Also, so you saw me just pause and press exit level, but not exit the level. If you pause and exit level while entering that cutscene, for some reason it skips the cutscene, which is weird because if you do it with other cutscenes, it just brings you back to the main menu. But for some reason, Pinna 1, both the cutscenes you can do that with. So yeah. Also,
Alright.
this fight's kind of tough.
This is an auto scroller, isn't it?
Kind of, but it's also hard. I
Okay.
need to hit 4 rockets.
Would it be a good time for donations, or do you need to focus?
In like a moment, it would be. So just pretend I hit both of those rockets that I shot at him and he died. That would have been a good fight. But since that didn't happen, I have to come all the way up here for another rocket. So yeah, doing this fight well is really hard, but unfortunately I messed it up, but it's not a huge deal. And then I'm gonna do the exit area trick again to skip the cutscene. And yeah, now you can say donations.
Perfect.
Wonderful, thank you. Actually, I just wanted to remind everyone that Frost Fatales and other Hot Fix events and shows are brought to you guys by viewers like you. Your subscriptions and bits all help keep the channel running for these events, including Frost Fatales, Random Number Generation, Retro Reboot, Time Capsule, Learning with Liz, and more. So thank you guys so much for all of your subscriptions, your bits, your donations to Malala Fund. Of course, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Smiley face. Okay, so this next shine is unfortunately also RNG. This is actually one of the worst RNG shines in 120. So this dude will shoot bullet bills at me, and depending, I need purple bullet bills to hit some of these boxes. So it's pretty much RNG whether or not the bullet bills want to hit these boxes or not. So hopefully I can get RNG and can get all these boxes, which will let me get the blue coins. This blue coin I'm getting right now, it's not required to get this one right now, but it's fast, so I'm gonna grab it anyways. If I had gotten different RNG, I would have just gotten that coin later. But since I got a purple right there, I just got it right now.
You got the good pattern, so you may as well go for it.
Yeah, true. This is where it can really hack me up. Okay, good. I got a purple. The purple, I need a purple for this box. Like, it's just required. There's nothing I can do about it if I don't get a purple. And the purple AIs also suck, so if it... Yeah, okay, there we go. The purple AI is just really bad. So sometimes they can just kind of go in circles for an hour, and it's really annoying.
And you hate to see that.
You really do hate to see it.
You hate to see it.
You do, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I've always said. Yeah, that was actually really good RNG for Pinna 2 overall, which is awesome. Because
Excellent.
This is the level that, you know, they say don't get too attached to a 120 run until after this level, because this one can just do whatever it wants. And then there's a little skip to skip fighting the mole, and you can just go right in anyways and do the secret. So yeah.
Is that just a timing-based thing?
Pretty much. What I do is I like do a side flip dive to slide off the cannon, which gives him enough time to retreat back to his home. So yeah, that's how I do it. But yeah, you pretty much just it's pretty much.
Man, there are some scary-looking jumps here.
Yeah, this is a kind of scary level. It's actually mostly an auto-scroller though, because you need to wait for those cycles. So it looks scary, but it's actually not that bad.
Yeah, exactly.
So earlier I said that we just go straight to the 7th shine of each mission. Right now is an exception to that. instead of doing Pinna 3, I'm actually going to go back and do Pinna 2 again to get the red coin shine. Because each secret area has a hidden red coin shine. And
Right.
I go back for Pinna 2 now because the next event cutscene doesn't play until I unlock Yoshi. Which means by doing Pinna 2 now, I actually don't lose any event cutscenes, which means I don't lose time. So it ends up being about 2 seconds faster to do this now instead of later. Unlike most secret missions, which is kind of fun. Yeah.
Very nice.
I'll also check
Probably a
down
good
glitch.
time for donations while the red coins are happening.
Yeah, but I do want to mention that this is kind of a tough cycle to make. It looks like I'm gonna actually miss it, but yeah, you can do donations.
Sure, we have a $5 donation from JeffBoy1996. They say, "Girl, you are doing a great job in making this speedrun fun to watch. Have fun and greetings from Germany." Smiley face.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And you truly are. This is a really, really fun run. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying my best.
You're
I'm
doing
having a
great.
blast here, so
I'm glad to hear. Thank you. So yeah, I actually did get the fastest cycle there, just barely, even though I messed up a little.
it was a good effort. I saw it all happen.
Yeah. Also, yeah, and during those like secret shines, the music just doesn't play with sound glitch, which is kind of funny.
So I saw someone ask this in the chat earlier, but the only way to get rid of sound glitch now is to reset the console, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Which I could do. And I probably should do it. I know deep down that I probably should do that, but I also
Maybe it's worth doing it for safety at some point.
probably there's a couple spots that I could probably do it. Also, I
Okay.
need to make that ship cycle is actually kind of tough. I need to get on this ship as it comes up so I can get that blue coin up there. Yeah, I'll probably end up. I know a good place I can do that.
Okay. I do also see chat saying that they've gotta love Mario runs, and I have to agree. It's always so much fun seeing just the absolutely bananas movement that people can do in these games, whether it's like Odyssey or Super Mario 64 or Sunshine, where you have the addition of the flood mechanics. Like it's just
Yeah, Mario
boggles the
runs are
mind.
super cool. I love them a lot. So yeah, that was Pinna 3. That's actually a really hard shine because there's a bunch of blue coins and cycles and all this garbage. So yeah,
It's just a lot of trash that you have to remember.
exactly.
Tom Indev in chat asks, "Is Super Mario Sunshine similar to Super Mario 64?"
As a speed, it's got a lot of big differences, I would say. Like just in general, Super Mario 64 has a lot of the movement is different, but not too different. I mean, like for example, this game has spin jumps and not long jumps. So the movement's pretty different, but the level design is like completely different. Because in Mario 64, you can get pretty much any star in whatever order you want. But in this game, you can't really do that. So as far as routing goes, they're very different. So this is a dumb shine. I need to smack all these dudes. And I was trying to get them all in one go, which would save some time, but it didn't happen, which is okay. So yeah. So this is gonna be a two cycle, which is fine.
Sometimes RNG is like that, and you just gotta do your best.
It's true. Lots of RNG in this game, unfortunately. Please, turtle. Why? What? I don't think I've ever seen him do that. He just got up in the tree. What a mad lad. What the heck?
Is that a certified "that's never happened before" moment?
I've never seen it, so I suppose it was kind of.
We
funny.
did it, everyone. This is a real GDQ run.
Let's go. So now I'm going to do Pinna 5, which is actually a shine you can just skip in any percent by doing this fancy trick called EYG, which lets you just do the 6th shine from mission 3. It's complicated. It doesn't matter for this run because I need to get blue coins here anyways, and I need the shine, so... But in any percent, there's a cool trick called EYG. So yeah. I'm going to try to get a ship cycle here called Fast Ship Cycle. Pretty creative name.
Very creative.
Yeah. So by going fast, I should be able to do a spin jump right off the ship. And get right up to the top of this thing. And then this skip is something that a lot of people did casually. You can just kind of hover through the Ferris wheel, which is weird. But a lot of people did it casually. And thankfully it's a thing, because the obstacle course in the back is just annoying. Yeah.
I didn't know that you could do that, and that looked like... If that were me trying it, I would be absolutely terrified.
Yeah, falling here
Looks
isn't
like
fun.
a nightmare to run into that.
Yeah, it is possible to run into that and fall if you're like too high up. Also, you may have seen that blue coin, the cutscene for some reason is taking a really long time. That's just another side effect of sound glitch. Some of the linked blue coins take a long time. Also, that was a scary bomb. In fact,
I have
that
a
one
couple
took
more
some
questions, if you have some time.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so here we go. We got a question from Too Much Sun HD, and they ask, how did you get into speedrunning Sunshine, and do you run other games as well?
Okay, so I got into speedrunning Sunshine because of this thing called the 602, which also goes into the other question. So the 602 is a marathon of Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and then both the Galaxy games, 100%, back to back, whatever. And that inspired me to start running all 4 of the games, both Galaxies and 64 in this one. So that's how I started running Sunshine, was because of the 602, and those are also the other games I run, is all the 602 games.
The 602 seems like it's a lot of fun. It also seems like a thing that I could just never do.
Yeah, it's definitely exhausting. Also,
Like
right there.
I mainly run Alan Wake, and that is a 3-hour game if you are new to the run, and even that just takes a lot out of me. So to do 602 stars of a complex like platformer like this, it would drive me up the wall.
Yeah,
So
it's
props to you for even being able to do it.
Thank you. I actually have a world record in the category. Fun fact.
In which category, sorry?
602.
Oh, wow. Oh, congrats.
Thank you. Took me a long time to get it. And I have world record in Galaxy 200%. So yeah, I've done some speedrunning. Also, a thing I want to mention is I went to this grass secret by complete, like, my brain was just not thinking. I was supposed to do 2 more shines in Pinna before coming here, but I forgot to, so...
Autopilot. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, when I do the grass secret, I hope I do it well or whatever. And I just went differently. So that's fun. I'm gonna reset my console now, though.
Okay. That's probably a good cue for tech then.
It shouldn't take too long.
While we wait for the reset, we could probably have a couple donations.
Sure, we have a $5 donation from Endiv that says, Shine Get. We have a $10 donation from SunnyLove24. They don't leave a comment, but thank you so much.
Okay, I'm back. Back in the game. I think I stopped sound glitch. I turned off the console and turned it back on, which I'm pretty sure is all you have to do. So hopefully that's done. It doesn't come back. And then I need to go back to
Fingers
Pinna Park.
crossed.
I should go back to Pinna Park because I'm dumb and accidentally went to the grass seeker earlier.
Commander Singh asks, which Mario games did you play most as a kid?
That's a good question. I think Sunshine was the one I played most.
I think it's the same for me as well.
Yeah, I really liked this game. And funnily enough, I think the one I played least was Galaxy 2. Yeah, Sunshine and 64 were a big part of my childhood. Also, this is a bit of an RNG shine. Yoshi can want one of 4 fruits here, and I want him to have banana or papaya, and he had banana, which that's good. It's fast.
Gotta go fast.
Heck yeah. Pinna 6. This is actually one of those levels where I just get a bunch of blue coins. Oh, I forgot to take my memory card out. By the way, the reason that the blue coin text boxes and stuff are really fast is I don't have my memory card in. If I had my memory card in, it would ask me to save every time.
But you need it to load that.
Yeah, so
You need it to load the save, yeah.
if you start the run with the memory card in, then you can save whenever you want. If you don't, then you can't save at all.
Huh.
So yeah, I started with the memory card in, thankfully, looking ahead, and so now I can save whenever I want.
Someone in the chat is just asking, how do I pronounce my username? It is Tielqt, as it like teal as in cockatiel, the type of parrot.
I believe I might be dumb. I think that's the German word for animal also.
Is it?
I think so. Unless I'm getting it mixed up.
Huh.
It's been a bit since I spoke in German, but I think that is, which is interesting.
I need to confirm this fact. Let's see. Okay, it's apparently it is tier.
Oh yeah.
Very close.
Forgive me, I haven't spoken German in a while, and I also am not good at German at all. So
I don't know any other languages. Oh wait, no, sorry, no, that's a lie. I know French, just
Ooh,
a little bit.
Nice.
Bonjour, mon ami.
I don't know what that means, but yes, thank you.
Hello, my friend.
Oh, hello. So I just want to point out, I did a trick there called over the wall, where I just did a triple jump and kind of dove over top of the wall, which makes the cycles just go by faster and get to the end of the shot. And yay, sound glitch is fixed, thankfully. Hopefully I don't have to worry about that ever again. What am I gonna do for... I need to, like, think of rerouting, because... Okay, so, since I already got the grass secret shine, I don't know how I'm gonna get back to the plaza. I might just do a save warp to get back.
That might be pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's not like it's gonna take forever, like restarting the console or anything. It's
Garland 6 says, "Comment ça va? Ça va bien." Which, by the way, translating, "Comment ça va? How are you? Ça va bien? I am good."
I'm glad you're good. I'm okay also. I'm doing pretty
I'm
good.
glad that you're okay. It seems like you're having fun with this run.
I am. So far, the run's... It's not bad, even. It's definitely underestimate pace.
You said that you were above your average splits, right? Is it still the
Yes.
case?
No.
Oops.
I mean, I failed Yoshi Skip 3 times, which is the main thing, and then I had to restart the console, so I'm pretty far behind. That's okay. So yeah, right there I just saved warp so I could get back to the plaza quickly.
I have a couple other language questions here in the chat that I'm seeing, if you don't mind me taking those.
Yeah, sure.
How do gender-neutral pronouns work in other languages, I wonder? Lots of languages use gendered pronouns for everything. And that's true. Like French, for example, is a very gendered language. There isn't really a neutral. There's not a neutral pronoun or a neutral way to speak French. I guess it's just something that language is going to have to adapt over time if we want to accommodate gender neutral language. But for now, it just doesn't exist yet.
Yeah. I know German has a gender neutral pronoun. It has like sie, which is they. I don't know if it's like used for. I don't know. I don't know how to speak German. I'm not saying this as someone who speaks German, but I don't know how that like how it works when referring to like people whose pronouns are they them.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if like that's what they use for. I mean, I don't know. I wonder actually. That's an interesting question.
And I have another question. Savage Roy says, "Are you speaking French with a Canadian accent?" Yes. Though I live in New Zealand, I was raised in Canada for 17 years or so. So I have this fun Canadian accent, and that's a good time.
Yeah. Also, I want to point out. So right there, I didn't mention it, but I did a little clip to get underneath the ground in Delfino Plaza with Yoshi, and then I just ran right over to the lily pad shine, which skips like that 10 minutes of just riding boats. If you've gotten that shine casually, you just have to ride boats until you get there with Yoshi, but you can just walk underneath the water to get over there. So that's what I did.
Oh my goodness.
Here we go. So that's fun. And
yeah, no, it's always fun to just clip under the entire map. No problem.
And you may have noticed with Yoshi, I got a bluebird there. If you've seen runs this category, Yoshi normally is used for 2 bluebirds and then another blue coin behind some jelly goop. But I'm actually doing a skip later on called Jelly Skip 2.0, which, if you couldn't tell, is like the sequel to Jelly Skip. And it basically lets me get that other coin behind the goop without using Yoshi, which should be cool, hopefully. So this is a very cycle-based level, so hopefully I can make all the good cycles and stuff. So yeah, I do. So I didn't finish Bianco Hills the first time I was here, so I'm finishing it now. I don't know exactly why that's faster, but it is. So that's all I know. And let's grab the shine. That was I got all the fast cycles. Yeah.
Give nothing back. This is the pirate code.
Exactly. So yeah. And then I'm gonna try to do an instant Shadow Mario kill here. Hopefully I get it. If not, it's not a big deal, but it looks cool.
Fingers crossed.
My main motivation for doing tricks is if they look cool or not. Like it could save like no time, but look cooler. I'm gonna do it. So that's how I speedrun at least. Okay, I failed it. If I had done it right, it would have died immediately. But yeah, it was valiant effort. That's still like, yeah. I mean, it still like doesn't lose time over just going for him normally, so it's not a big deal.
So I've got a question for you.
Okay.
Earlier, I mentioned I mentioned the pirate code as just kind of a joke, but speedrunning is really super not about that. It's about taking something that you get and giving it to everybody else as well. Do you know much about the history of this run category? Could you tell us a little bit about that, or is it not really something that you have any expertise in that?
I'm not really too qualified to mention it. I know a good amount of it. But there's a fantastic video online by Average Trey who previous world record holder of this category and first person to get under 3 hours. Really good video, goes really in depth of the history of this category. And he also has one that goes really in depth in the history of the any percent category, and both are really good videos. So if anyone's curious about the history of Mario Sunshine speedrunning, I recommend watching Average Trey's videos on it.
I can find a link to that and put it in the chat if mods are okay with that. It looks like Super Mario Sunshine was also run by Average Trey in 2018 at AGDQ.
Yeah, he also did, I think, in 2015 at AGDQ. So he's done a couple of runs. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of history to like this game. This game has like a really nice community, honestly.
I think speedrunning in general I've found to have just a really pleasant community.
Yeah, definitely.
Like even for something like I am the super mod for F1 2019. And like even super hardcore racers in the speedrun community are just like super nice and have great questions and make us think about how we develop out the categories and the rules. But it's really good to have such a like large, thoughtful community for a huge variety of games.
It's true. I've made a lot of really good friends through speedrunning. It's just a really great community.
If you don't mind, I just need to take a quick break, so I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Okay, no problem.
Also, nice on the blue coins.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, chat. I hope you're all doing well. I can't actually see you at the moment, but I still hope you're all doing well. Okay, so this shine, you can actually do the entire shine without using a blooper at all. But there's a blue coin I need to get, so I am going to use the blooper. But for some reason, you actually can get 2 shines from doing this shine. I don't know why, but one of the hidden shines in this level is just redo this shine. So later on, if you want to see this level completely blooperless, then I'll do that. But for now, I need to do the outside part with the blooper. But I can do the inside part blooperless. So the way this race works is there's some checkpoints around the track that I need to hit that'll let me finish the race. So I'm just gonna go hit them real fast. I can just kind of go over the walls and stuff. So one's like right there. If I do it properly, I should just get the race finished. Thank you. 2011 isn't too bad of a time. That saves a few seconds over using the blooper to go all the way around. This next level is actually a really big skip here, which again, if you've seen Sunshine speedruns, you've seen it before. But you're supposed to do like all this platforming up some scaffolding to drop into like that big yellow thing to get the shine, but you can actually just go from underneath. So I'm not gonna grab that blue coin, even though you might think that it's faster there. It's not. Yeah, I can just go through the grate underneath and then get the shine. Which definitely saves a bunch of time from going all the way around. Now Rico 4. There's nothing special to say about this. There's no like blue coins here. It's just do the secret mission.
If you want some more questions from chat, I can help read those off while we wait for Tielqt.
Sure.
We have someone that asked, what is your favorite Super Mario Sunshine trick or movement?
My favorite trick at the moment is called Jelly Skip 2.0, which I was mentioning a little bit earlier. I might be biased because I just learned it recently, but I think it looks really cool. So hopefully I don't mess it up in this run. Yeah, I think it looks really cool, and it saves a few seconds, so that would be my favorite trick. I don't know about movement, honestly. Can't really think of anything for movement. There is a trick called rocket storage, though, where basically you could store rockets and get pretty much infinite height. So you can just use the rocket nozzle, and then if you interrupt the rocket nozzle with an animation, you get to store that rocket, and then if you sidestep off a ledge, you get the height of that rocket. So you can store as many rockets as you want, and I am going to be using that trick a bunch later, but for now, it's kind of irrelevant. But yeah.
I have returned.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Clean run through that last section there, by the way. Very good.
Thank you. I that's a scary level.
It looks it. I was
if
here
you,
for like the back half of that, and it, all of this platform is just boggling my mind.
Yeah, if you miss a spin jump, then you die, and it's not fun. So yeah, it's definitely scary. There's some really scary levels in this game. Also, we get to fight the same boss again. For some reason, they made you fight this boss 3 times in this run, which is silly, but luckily we actually skipped the 3rd time. So that's nice. Hey, I got a gold there. I know you can't see my splits, but it was a gold.
Hey!
Let's go.
We got gold.
The run's alive.
We did it. We're back on.
Congratulations.
We're back
Thank
on
you.
perfect pace.
Heck yeah.
I gotta say, I've never. Why do so many people stick with the gold? I'm so used to seeing like purple because I like when you watch a motorsports event,
Mm-hmm.
green is like green is like I forget. Oh no, it doesn't matter because what matters is purple is the you are doing this faster than any other attempt. I think green is just maybe personal best, and then purple is maybe record.
Gotcha. Well, you might hate my splits then, because my behind color is actually purple.
Oh no!
Yeah.
That would throw me off so bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I missed that one. Feels bad. That's
Sorry for totally flubbing my motorsports knowledge. I feel like a sham now.
Dang. Oh, I missed the thing. That's not good. I need to go back around. Missing this shine is annoying. You can actually
Yeah, 'cause
accidentally...
Oh.
What?
You go. Sorry.
Oh, okay. You can actually accidentally jump on top of another blooper and start writing that one. And
Oh
if
no!
you're- Yeah, if you're not ready for it, it can really disorient you. But I've had that happen before, and as long as I'm prepared for it, it doesn't usually result in me dying, but it's very annoying.
Goodness.
Yeah. Now this is like the easiest Shadow Mario level in the entire game. And now that I said that, I'm gonna mess it up, so...
You got this. Come on.
I did it! Yeah, you pretty much just walk forward and spray.
Way!
And then while the shine is spawning, I'm just gonna go grab this coin from the spider.
Someone asks in the chat. Voling asks. You always get people always get the green squid. Is that one faster?
So the squids, they all move the same speed if you're pressing forward on the control stick, but the red one controls really bad. Like, it's not fun to use. The yellow one, I don't know what the downside of the yellow one is, but the green one has the best controlling, and if you hold forward, it goes the same speed as everything else. And in addition to that, if you run into a wall, as long as you're holding neutral, you won't actually die with the green one, which is a really nice feature.
And it's just that green one? It's not consistent with any of the other ones?
Not that I know of. I forget exactly, but I'm pretty sure that's right. I'm pretty sure it's just the green one that lets you use that.
That's so weird.
It is weird. I don't know why they did it like that. Also, this fruit machine, this is another level that I do early just because of preference, because it's RNG.
Right.
There's a 20% chance of getting a durian out of this fruit machine, and I need a durian. And it's just not coming out. I hate when that happens. I haven't been counting. Oh, there we go. Like, what was that? Like 7th try? That's like the worst. That's like really bad.
Yeah, that was wild. It took a little while.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying. I think I have actually the worst recorded number of attempts on that, which is 15. One time it took me 15 tries to get a durian out of that.
Oh my goodness.
Which is just ridiculous. As far as I know, that's
purple. Look at that purple juice. It actually looks really pretty. What the heck?
Purple's definitely my favorite color for Yoshi.
Do you mind if I field a quick question that someone asked about F1?
Sure. Yeah.
Sorry, I know it's off topic.
I don't. I just don't know what you mean by F1.
F1 is a motorsports series.
Oh, okay. It shows how much I know about things like that.
So, Suti Bunsen up in the chat asks, F1 2019 speedrun when? Those exist. They're out there. We have all tracks. There's an any percent get the championship category. So like speedrunning of motorsports games is a thing that totally exists and you can take part in.
Dang, nice.
Yeah. I think all tracks is like 3 and a bit hours.
Dang.
But you can check that out at speedrun.com/F1 2019.
Yeah, so now we're entering Serena Beach. This is a really cool level. It's one of the last levels I have before I go to Corona Mountain. And in the first mission, this one's infamous because it's the Manta Ray one. It's infamous for casual players because it's just a really memorable level, and it's infamous for speedrunners because it's RNG based and sucks.
Oh, Manta time.
Heck yeah. Of course, this guy talks for an hour beforehand.
We're skipping all the text. We're missing all the deep lore.
We have to read it in Japanese.
But that's not fast, is it? That would also require that we take a break and go learn Japanese and then come back and read the deep lore.
Yeah, something that tells me that might not be faster than just mashing through it.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that?
Yeah, who knew? So yeah, Manta, you pretty much just spray until they turn purple. So once you get all of the big ones and medium-sized ones, when they're all small, they turn purple and start chasing you, which is fast. We want to do that as soon as possible. And then I'm just gonna run over and grab a blue coin.
Spray and pray.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much this level in general.
What?
Blue coin chilling.
How did you get electrocuted when you went into the water? Did one of the rays catch up, or?
It might have been like some goop just relaxing.
Oh, that was strange. It just looked like you got straight up electrocuted when you went in.
I didn't notice it, but I don't know, it might have been like some goop, because the manta rays don't just electrocute you, they just like push you away, which is really annoying. Yes, shine. And then I'm gonna run over here and go into first person mode, which just sets my camera up for after this cutscene's over. Hooray, shine.
Shine get?
Shine get. Heck yeah.
So Toasted S'mores has a question in the chat, and they ask, what is the splatter spray technique? Like, how do you execute it on a GameCube controller?
Okay, I was gonna mention this earlier, but I forgot. It's called spam spraying, at least that's what the community calls it. It's not like an official name. It's actually really easy. You just press R and A at the same time. Like, you press R all the way down and then A at the same time. And if you're standing on the ground, you'll do a backflip, but if you're in the air, then you'll just spray. So yeah, it's not like a super tough trick, but it's I don't know if it's like intended or not, or if it's just like a side effect from the backflip. But yeah, that's how you do it.
If I had to guess, personally, I'd guess on side effect.
Yeah, probably. This is one of the hardest secret levels too. That's fun.
Straight into the boo mouth.
Heck yeah, I messed up the movement a bit. If I had done it right, I would have just wall kicked right up inside of the mouth. That's okay. I get another chance later because the red coins shine here. Hopefully I can get it then. Okay, so now this is the hard part. There's a trick I'm going to do called the momentum spin jump, which I'll explain after I do it.
All right.
Okay, got it. Woohoo. So basically, if you dive onto a slope, roll out, and then immediately spin jump, you keep all the momentum from your rollout, and you can just get a bunch of extra distance from the spin jump.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So it's definitely useful in a few places. That's probably the biggest one. It's really scary because if you miss the spin jump or anything, then you die. So
It looks like it was just oh
yeah,
it stresses me out.
It's definitely a scary one. Scary trick.
Oh my goodness.
This is another level with a big skip. If you ever played this game, you know that in the third mission in Serena, you have to go through the attic, find a pineapple, give it to Yoshi, all this garbage. But you can actually just skip doing all of that with a banana. So instead of getting Yoshi, I'm just gonna go up to the top floor and go straight to the shine. If I
You're
can
gonna clip through something with a banana?
Yes. Just do a backflip and throw the banana and you're in.
Perfect.
That's actually a really easy trick. Like if you wanted to right now go do it, you could do it. The one thing you need to keep in mind is that when you do a backflip and then you throw B or you press B to throw the banana. The one thing to keep in mind is that when you throw the banana, you want to hold the control stick the opposite direction of the room. And if you do that, then you'll get it within like 1 or 2 tries.
If you do a backflip and throw a banana, that's just how you make breakfast. In the morning.
True.
Don't try that at home. I
Yeah,
can't stress that enough.
Probably not a good idea.
Probably not great.
Unless you happen to know how to do backflips.
Now, if you know how to do backflips, I think a world of possibilities opens up to you.
It's true. You could backflip while making breakfast, and backflip while doing other things. Like,
I don't know what other things could you do while backflipping? We just don't know, because I can't do a backflip. That's for sure.
That is true. So this is a little glitch. I'm just gonna go on top of this archway and then hover over and go straight to the secret, which saves a lot of time over the intended way, which is play some slot game for like an hour and then go through. So just kind of hover over and go through. Neat little trick. And the best thing is I get to do it again later.
Yeah.
There's another momentum spin jump here that I'm not going to go for, but you could do it to like skip waiting for this cube. It doesn't save too much time, but it's
High
really
risk,
fast.
low reward.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oof.
So I tend to not go for that one. And the next shine is unfortunately another RNG shine. Unfortunate. It's the King Boo shine. So basically, he can give me extra cycles. So the way it works is he gives you a fruit cycle, then he gives you a non-fruit cycle, then he gives you a fruit cycle, then a non-fruit, blah, blah, blah. If you get a non-fruit on a fruit cycle, then we call that an extra cycle. And it's just really annoying because each time you get one, it loses like 5 seconds. And hopefully I get 0, but mostly you'll get like 1 or 2.
While we have a moment of downtime as well, I'd like to remind the chat that we are taking questions from the chat. So if you have questions about this run, please feel free to put them in the chat and I will relay them on to Claire.
Yes.
So now it's King Boo time, right?
Yup, unfortunately.
This is one of the worst RNG sections in the game, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Correct? Or is it fairly predictable?
It can be if he wants to be rude. Like right there, I got an extra cycle, which loses a few seconds. So right away, I get an extra cycle. And he can give you pretty much as many extra cycles as he wants to. There was an old world record of this category that had 7 extra cycles and lost like 1.5 minutes here, which is ridiculously bad RNG. Yeah, to cancel his non-fruit cycles, I wait for him to spit them out and then I walk underneath him. To cancel extra cycles, you don't have to wait at all. You can just walk underneath immediately. It's like that's an extra cycle, so you just go underneath. And that's an extra cycle. Why?
Oh no. While we wait, I've got a question here from Spriteless Girl, and they ask, what's your favorite boss? Because I'm betting it's not this one.
Definitely not this one. Is this an extra cycle? Am I dumb? Is this a non-fruit cycle? Did I cancel it? Whatever. I don't know what my favorite boss is, actually. That's a good question. I haven't really thought of that. Definitely not this one. Be correct about that. Wow, okay, that was ridiculously bad RNG. I wasn't counting. Does anyone know how many extra cycles that was? That was not good.
Too many.
Yeah, I would say so.
Here's another relevant question for you. What is the worst shine in this game? And this question came to us from Renex the Comic.
Well, this one is definitely pretty bad. I don't know if I'd call it the worst shine in the game, though. I actually don't know what I would consider the worst shine in the game. I'm trying to think, but I can't really think of anything terrible. Maybe it is this one.
You can.
Maybe it is that one now that I think about it. I can't think of anything that I dislike more at the moment.
Also, apparently you're at about 6 extra cycles right now.
Nice. That's like really bad.
That's terrible. What are we doing?
That's amazing. Well, that's fun. Yeah. And now Serena 6. This one's a fun one. You basically need to spray the beach off. And one of the biggest differences between English and Japanese is that in the Japanese version of this game, it's much, much, much more strict. Like, in the English version, you need to get like 95% of the goop cleaned up, which gives you a lot of leeway. In this version, you need like 99% of it. So I need to not miss a single little bit of goop, or else I'm not going to be able to finish. So, and by not being able to finish, I mean that I'll just have to go look for the goop I missed. Pretty annoying. and one of the biggest time losses between Japanese and English. Japanese is faster mostly because of load times, but the text saves a little bit of time too. But yeah, so definitely don't want to miss a computer.
I wouldn't have expected it to be faster because of load times, honestly. I definitely would have thought, oh yeah, it's going to be text, like every other game.
Yeah, you'd think it would be text, but actually, load times is what does it. I think, I could be wrong, I think Italian is the second fastest language, and that has faster text than Japanese? I could be wrong, don't quote me on that, but I do know that Italian is the second fastest language.
Huh.
Yeah,
to
faster than times.
To that point, Tielqt has a question, and they ask, how long have you been running this game?
Like 2 to 3 years, I want to say. I don't know exactly when I started, but well, it was probably in 2016 actually, so it's probably been about a little over 3 years.
Wow.
I'd say.
It's a lot. That's a lot of commitment to like one game.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said earlier, I don't focus on one game the whole time. Most of my motivation comes from the 602. So,
Oh, that's fair.
yeah. So, yeah. I like to think that my time would be a bit better if I wasn't focused on the 602 as much, but not to say my time's bad. I'm just saying, if I put all my time into Sunshine, I think I could probably get a bit of a better time. Which, by the way, for those who don't know, my PB is 3 hours and 17 minutes.
And world record is something like 20 minutes faster or something, right?
Yeah, about
am I remembering that number correctly?
Yeah, it's like a mid 258.
But you have the world record in the 602, so
Yes, so it works out in the end.
Everything works out.
Yes.
This question comes to us from Devil the One. How often have you finished this game? I'm assuming that means, like, how often do you actually reset a run?
I actually reset runs more than I should, like an early game. With like, I get like bad RNG and reset or whatever. I've been trying to reset less because I just kind of want to play the game, not like reset the beginning over and over again. But I'd say lately I haven't reset very much, but in general, I'd say I reset probably a little more times than average. And
That's fair.
Yeah.
And we've got a couple of people who tuned in recently, and they would like to know what the 602 is.
Oh, okay. So 602 is a marathon that is Super Mario 64, Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Galaxy 2, 100%, all in a row. So it has this category in it, and then it has Galaxy 120, and Mario 64, 120, all that. And it's usually done in a race. There's a race that happens twice a year. So it's this big race where a bunch of people from the community come and do all those categories and stuff.
Do you know when the next one of that is?
The next one is in summer, probably in June. Either late June or early July is when they usually are in summer. And then there's also one in like late December.
It's usually not too long after the main stage GDQ, eh?
Yeah, usually we have to like schedule around GDQ and ESA and stuff. So yeah.
That makes sense.
I can't pick up this bomb. I messed up that bomb 100 times. But yeah, 602. The world record's like 20 hours and 43 minutes. My personal goal is to get it under 20 hours. Yeah.
Sorry, did you say your goal is to get it under 20 hours and it is currently longer than that?
Yes. Right now it is 20 hours and 43 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a real fun run.
Okay, now I have a question for you. How many energy drinks do you need to just, like, remain alive during that period of time? I would straight up die.
Honestly, usually it's not too much. Usually I have like 1 or 2 cups of coffee and that's it. It's definitely it definitely takes a bit of stamina.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah.
Do you get to pause the timer, taking breaks for like? Because obviously you need to take bio breaks and stuff like that. So do you need to like? Do you get to pause the timer, or does it just have to keep running?
You have to keep the timer going. Also, I just want to point out real fast that I'm doing this little clip straight to the shine, which skips the 3rd fight for that blooper that I was talking about.
Zoop.
Yeah, pretty much. And then this burn is annoying. No, you can't stop the timer. The timer has to keep running. And actually, as an added bonus, you can't take breaks longer than 1 hour, because I think that has to do with like speedruns live rules, because it's in a race usually.
Huh.
So yeah, you can't take breaks longer than 1 hour, and the timer has to keep going. And yeah, but there
That's
are like
wild.
the Galaxy games have credits you can like do stuff during, and it's not a big deal. So like yeah, you get a couple of small breaks, and like the cutscenes of this game from the beginning, like you
Oh
can take
yeah,
a break
yeah.
there.
Because this is this is the second game in the list, right? Because
It'll be
64
the
this and then
no, the 3rd
Galaxy.
game. Galaxy
Oh
comes
no.
second. Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's mostly just to split up the Galaxy games, so we don't have to play Galaxy for like 18 hours straight, or however long it would be. It's like no one wants to like play Galaxy 1 then Galaxy 2 immediately, so we put Galaxy 2 and Galaxy. We put Sunshine in the middle of it.
I think that's the smart way to do that. Is
Yeah, I think so. But wait till okay, hold on. So the 602 is cool, but there's actually a longer category called 1862.
no.
Yeah. So basically, it's the 602, except it also has 3D World and Odyssey on it. So you need to get all 380 stars in 3D World, and then all 880 moons in Odyssey.
I
And,
refuse to believe that exists,
It
but I
does.
know that it does.
Yeah. Currently, 2 people have ever finished one. I'm one of those 2 people. It was a good time. And then the other person is Blood TV. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's a fun one for sure. Very tiring over the course of. It's about 40 hours long. Yeah.
I'm losing my mind thinking about that. No.
Yeah. It's
No.
ridiculous.
No.
Yeah. Also, real fast about the run. This is one of the hardest levels. It's the eel level, and it's actually really hard to do in speedrun. And right there, I did a little clip to like zip down and grab that blue coin. I'm just gonna like wall jump right back. Well, I'm gonna pretend that didn't happen. I'm gonna wall jump right into the loading zone and then fight the eel. And hopefully the eel goes well. Please go in the loading zone, maybe. Okay. So yeah, this is a fun level. And yeah, 40 hours of Mario. Good times.
Okay, so I've got a question from chat then about Mario.
Okay.
From Messiah Show, and they ask, which Mario game is your favorite?
That's a really tough question to answer. I like them all. I don't know if I can really pick a favorite. At least between the 3D games. In general, I like the 3D games more than the 2D games. But I don't know, I really like them all. It's hard to pick a favorite. I've run them all so much at this point that like they all have a special connection. I don't think I can really pick a favorite.
Whoa, okay, this looks like a nightmare creature.
Yeah, it really is. I need to spray all the teeth, and then after I spray the last tooth, I'm gonna do a damage boost to get hit on the last tooth before spraying it clean, and that's just gonna skip the cutscene of this guy dying. So if I get hit by this tooth and then spray it, then I'll save about 20 seconds.
I thought Unagi from Super Mario 64 was terrifying, but no, I think this breaks that record.
Yeah, for sure.
Congrats. to Super Mario Sunshine for having the scariest eel creature in any video game.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy. So this cutscene I'm watching, you can skip this cutscene if you spray the last tooth while getting damaged. Unfortunately, I messed it up. Didn't get the tooth quick enough, but it's not a big deal. Little time loss. Yeah, that boss is kind of scary.
This question here comes from Kahikins, and they ask, I have a question for Claire. If the Odyssey 2 rumors are true, are you going to add that to the end of that 40-hour run?
You know, probably. I don't want to, but knowing me, I'll probably end up doing it.
What possesses you to do this?
I don't know.
You know
I
what?
just
Fair
do
enough.
I just do it sometimes.
So, sometimes you feel compelled to do a thing and you just gotta do it.
Yeah, you can't just stop until it's done. You know? It happens.
Can't stop till you hit the top.
Exactly.
Do we have time for a couple donations, maybe?
Yes. I'm doing another Piantissimo race, which is mostly an auto-scroller, so yeah.
Very
Excellent.
cool. Thank you so much. We have a $25 donation from Loopy313. They don't say anything, but thank you so much. It helps a ton. We have another $15 donation from Anonymous. Again, no comment, but it helps so much. And we have a $20 donation from Geyer, not the runner. Frost Fatales, more like Best Fatales.
So yeah, just like previous Piantissimo races, I'm gonna run up here and get some blue coins while I wait. Just kind of chilling over here.
Couple more donations while you do that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, sure thing. We've got a $60 donation from Dear Trivia, donating to say hi to my wife who is sitting right next to me. Hi. My money goes to naming the cast of Earthbound Ness, Tess, Jess, and Wes.
I like
I'm a big fan of that.
that.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to endorse that, actually.
Me too. I'm down for that.
And as a reminder for naming, we still have the character name Bid Wars open for Gregory Horror Show. So naming characters has always been one of my favorite things to do in any game. So if you want to have that joy of getting to pick it, go for it. You can donate to get whatever name you want within guidelines.
And I think there's an incentive for Code Lyoko's file name. That's the DS Code Lyoko game. I'm going to be around for that run as well. So if you want to name that file something real fun, I would really appreciate it.
Heck yeah. So this is like one of the hardest secret missions in the game. Infamous for being hard. But before I do that, I need to get some blue coins. Okay. That's okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna climb up here and get these coins that we used to get these in the 100 coin mission of this world, but it actually ended up being faster to get them during this mission. Which you'll see later why, I guess.
This is some close quarters platforming.
Yeah, these like hallways are really annoying. They take a lot of getting used to before you can get like good movement throughout them. Yeah, and I just jumped straight into the secret. Which is probably the hardest secret in the game.
Well, you've said some of these are pretty challenging so far. So the fact that you've just said that this is the hardest has terrified me.
Yes. The other ones have been challenging, but this one is the hardest, I'd say. As a kid, I could never do this one. So I guess it's nice to see how far I've come.
It really proves that you have advanced your skills as a gamer.
It's true. And yeah. There that is. That's a bit of a...
Holy heck!
That's a spooky level.
Very nice work.
Thank you. That's actually not the fastest you can do that level. At the beginning, when I did like that spin jump dive onto that spinny rotating dude, you can actually get there a cycle earlier, and it's called green cycle. It's really hard and really tight, and like only top level runners can get it consistently. And I'm not a top level runner yet. And yeah,
I don't know. This seems like pretty top level execution to me.
I mean, I'm not playing terribly, but there's definitely better runners, and hopefully one day I'll get there.
Any runners that you want to shout out in the community?
Oh man, I don't want to forget anyone. That's the
See, this is always. I know it's the worst question I could possibly ask, but like,
it's scary because I don't want to forget anyone. But yeah, okay, so a lot of the routing stuff that's been done recently was by Oatflaker, who's really good at 120 and working his way to like world record. He's gotten really good. He's got sub 3 hours. So there's Oatflaker. Another good 120 runner is Guy 2308, I think. He also has sub 3 hours. And then there's more also. There's SB Electric and Average Trey, obviously, who I mentioned earlier. That's the people to shout out. I'm sorry if I didn't shout you out. Oh, hold on. One Ups for Life is a personal friend of mine, and thinking back on it, I totally should have asked her to commentate with me. I completely should have done that. But yeah, One Ups is, yeah, it happens. That's okay. I'm having fun commentating with you. That's nice.
thanks.
Yeah, One Ups has just done a lot of like behind the scenes stuff for this game. And all kinds of things.
Shout out to all the runners who are operating behind the scenes. Like, no matter what part you're playing, like, it does make a difference in the community. So thank you for your service.
It's true. Thank you.
I have a minute to get in for a sec.
Yes.
Sorry, I've seen a couple people ask about Malala Fund in chat, and I just wanted to remind everyone that Malala Fund is working for a world where every girl can learn and lead. With more than 130 million girls out of school, they're breaking down barriers that hold girls back through investing in local education activists, advocating to hold leaders accountable, and amplifying girls' voices. And all the donations are going to Malala Fund. So thank you guys so much for the donations, and keep being awesome.
Heck yeah.
And keep those donations in. Like, Malala Fund is a great cause, so it's good that not only is GDQ supporting that through this event, it's good that people are donating. So get some donations in, get into some cool incentives. We would love to see it. We see some people speculating that we are at the end in the chat as well. We are not. You're just getting the blue coins here. Is that correct?
Correct. You need to visit this place to get the blue coins at least once, and then you need to come back to beat the game. So I'm just getting blue coins, and then I'm leaving and getting the rest of the shines. So yeah, this is like, oh, actually, hold on. Let me point out, I'm doing a trick right now where I put my memory card in my Wii, and by doing that, the save box pops up and asks me if I want to save. And for some reason, when you press no, the game just lets you get a new hover, which lets me go to that pillar and exit level. So that way I don't have to like death warp and then exit level. So I'll save a few seconds. Cool trick. But yeah, that's just the first Corona.
Here's a question about the Corona Mountain coins, actually, because you mentioned that there are 30 in every level, right?
Oh, yes, I should elaborate on that. I said that the 30 includes the main hub world. Corona Mountain is considered as to being a part of the main hub world, as well as the airstrip. So there's actually 19 in Delfino Plaza, 1 in airstrip, and 10 in Corona Mountain. So
There we go.
those are technically considered the hub world.
It's interesting that they're considered part of that, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Also, this is the 100 coin shine for Tielqt. At this point, we pretty much just go back to the levels we already visited and clean them up. So right now we're doing 100 coins, which...
Clean up on an aisle, sunshine. No, that was nothing. That was less than nothing.
You know, it was a good attempt.
I loved it.
Was it?
I did too.
Thank you for your support in this trying time.
We have time for a couple quick donations.
In like 10 seconds. Yes, I just want to explain this trick I'm about to do. Right now I'm underneath the village underside, and I want to get to the top of the village underside. So to do that, I'm just gonna kind of clip through the roof here in a second. Like this. And there we go. Okay, now you have time for donations.
That was really cool. Thank you. I've got a $5 anonymous donation. Thank you so much. Every single dollar helps towards this cause, and we really appreciate it. We have a $10 anonymous donation. Again, every bit helps. Thank you so much. I have a $50 donation from the Cat Umbrella. No comment, but again, thank you so much. You guys are amazing.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Spriteless girl finished my joke. We got it. Clean up on Isle Delfino.
Nice, I like it.
There it is. We did it. Thank you, Spriteless girl, for finishing my joke that I didn't think through at all.
Nice. Yeah, now I'm just getting some of the extra coins over here. Because the 100 coin shine actually spawns over here. It's not like Mario 64 where it spawns wherever you get the last coin. It always spawns in a specific spot. And you also can't collect like the 100 coin shine, then another shine. You just get the 100 coin shine. So yeah, that's 100 coin at Tielqt Village. Oh, now I get to do Yoshi skip again. Hopefully this time.
You got this. First try. Come on.
Let's hope. Yoshi skip isn't as hard as it seems, by the way. I know I fail it like 1,000 times, but it's not that bad once you practice for a bit.
It's the little things. It's like all things in speedrunning, it's the little things.
Exactly.
Get you.
So this time on my way to the place where I do Yoshi skip, I'm actually gonna come over here and get a blue coin. I didn't get earlier just because I wanted to get the 1-up instead, just for safety. Because if I game over, I go back to the last place I saved, which usually is the very beginning of the run, so don't want to game over at all. Hey, I got it this time. Let's go.
Hey. Very nice work.
Thank you. And then, so yeah, each of the, I don't know if I mentioned this very well, but each of the secret shines have a hidden one, like red coin shine as well. So during this second half, I need to go back to all of those and get them.
And are they all timed?
Yeah, they are, but the timer is not really a problem in the speed run. But casually, oh no, don't die, please.
It's just anxiety.
It is pretty anxiety. I agree.
It's a physical manifestation of anxiety. Oh,
Yeah,
I hate it.
That's fair. Have you played Majora's Mask? Because I feel like that game is really bad about that.
Woofa doofa.
Yeah, that whole game is timed pretty much. It's a good game. It's just really stressful.
I've always had this idea of like games that operate on a fixed timer being really cool.
Yeah.
But like I think you'd need to see something like an open world game where you had time actually meaning things.
Mm-hmm.
Like you play Fallout or whatever. Time doesn't really mean anything in those games. If a day passes, it's whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've always liked this concept where time passes and you could potentially miss out on stuff because you didn't go on this day and this was when this was happening and it's changed the world in some significant way.
Yeah, I get you what you mean. Also, I'm kind of messing this up right now.
Doom Guy Fieri points out Dead Rising is exactly the thing I want, which is true, actually. I wish more games did it, though.
Yeah, I have actually never played Dead Rising. It looks good, though. So something about this mission. This is actually the first mission to incorporate rocket storage, which I was mentioning earlier. I don't think you were here when I was doing that. Or maybe you were, but I don't think you were. Basically, I can store rockets pretty much infinitely and like unleash them all at once to get extra height. So a person who asked earlier if I use other nozzle attachments, this is a good example of a place where we do use the rocket nozzle. Not till like towards the end of the mission, but geez. This jump here to get to the top of this tree is actually really spooky. I'm probably gonna miss it even. Yeah, like I said, if I'd done that better, I wouldn't have fallen at all.
It's okay. Pick
Yeah.
yourself up. Let's go again.
Heck yeah, it happens. So instead, I just have to go up the normal way.
In a marathon setting especially, you have to roll with the punches.
Exactly. Also, that bird was really good. The birds in this game can be very annoying. That one was very nice to me.
You know, they always say that birds are jerks during these sorts of runs.
Yeah,
And I've like, see, like Alan Wake has definitely got some jerk birds. It's like a whole thing. It's great.
Yeah, you know, what is it with birds? I don't know why.
I don't
they're,
know
like,
what
the
it is with
go-to,
game developers and birds.
You know, I don't know.
Be
Also,
nice
this
to
is
birds.
rocket storage, by the way. Cool little rocket storage to get up to the cloud. And yeah,
Zoop.
yeah, I like birds. I don't know why they're always just the annoying ones. So yeah,
I got a question from the chat.
okay.
Dana5 has a question, and they ask, what is your favorite track in the Sunshine OST?
You know, that's a good question. I don't know if I thought about that too much. I really like the Pinna Park song. It's just kind of like cheery and happy. I kind of like that. But also the Gelato Beach song is like all chill. I don't know. This game has like some good music. I mean, I know I answered this for a lot of things, but I actually have no idea. I really like all of this game's music. I don't know if I could pick a favorite.
Koji Kondo killing it with this soundtrack, as always.
Yes, good tunes. Yeah, this is Rocket Storage again, and there's actually a hidden shine up here that's kind of silly, but you just kind of spray this on like this. And I'm going to try to time a ground pound. I messed it up. If I had timed it right, I would have been able to ground pound before the cutscenes. Which would have gotten me the shine quickly.
What?
Yeah, it's kind of a stupid, stupid shine,
What?
to be honest.
Oh,
It's a bit silly.
yeah, that is a bit silly. I didn't know that. I don't know how you could even be expected to know that was there.
Yeah, I don't know if there's like an NPC that says it maybe, but I mean, okay, so you also get a blue coin from spraying the moon, so maybe they wanted you to like make the connection there. I don't know. It's a weird shine though. There's a few weird ones that just like, why would you ever think to do that? Like the one I'm
Mario
about to do.
games like have they always have like one or two things that like just challenge the way that you think about like they're like just think about, oh, like there could be secrets hidden here. Odyssey is obviously like a prime example of just like, oh, everything is just weird secrets.
Mm-hmm.
But like Super Mario 64, the example I could think of would be like looking up at the light to enter it's one of the flying cap levels, isn't it?
Yeah, the wing cap.
Yeah, there we go.
My favorite in Mario 64 is like the secret where you have to like find the secrets in like Wet Dry World and stuff. We're just kind of like they're just kind of thrown about. You just have to make sure you walk in random spots. Kind of silly.
But it's always like interesting to see that stuff from Nintendo, honestly.
Yeah.
They're really good about it.
Mhm. This bird is not being nice to me, by the way. He's the one I saved.
Come on, bird.
Like way earlier, I said I was gonna save him for later, and I did, and he was mean. Unfortunate. So yeah.
You hate to see it.
Gelato Beach, because if you remember earlier, I skipped like everything here, so I actually have a lot to do here before I can move on. But that's okay, because this level is kind of fun. Especially ooh, I'm excited for a trick coming up in a bit. But for now, the Wiggler fight. The Wiggler fight is like kind of annoying. And I actually need to like make sure I go fast enough here because there's a cycle I need to make for a blue coin. Hopefully I get that. It's been a bit since I've missed it.
Fingers crossed.
So the way this Wiggler works is if you ground pound him only after he stopped completely, then he'll go in the same spot every single time. So I'm trying to use that to my advantage to get these blue coins while I wait for him and then ground pound him so I know where he's gonna be. It looks like I got the good. I made the cycle, so I should be fine. So getting both of those coins during this fight can be kind of tricky.
I assume it's just because the cycles can be a little bit funky.
Yeah, if you're like, for instance, the second hit there, if I took too long and I hit him even a little bit late, then he would go in a completely different spot for this third hit. So it's annoying. But as long as I am fast enough, it's not a big deal. And the worst case scenario is when he just runs around. Like, if you completely miss him and don't even get a hit on him, then it's just like where's he? I don't know.
It is a mystery.
Exactly. But it's kind of tricky, but he's a consistent boss fight, which is nice. Then I just get the coin, get the shine. That's the one.
Shine get.
Shine get, heck yeah.
So we're at 56. We're coming up on about halfway through this.
We've only got about an hour, 20 minutes left.
Oh, right. No, because you get like a whole bunch of them from blue coins. Oops.
Yes. There's 96 shines I collect and then 24 from blue coins. So got a whole bunch.
Okay. Okay, so we're more like 2/3 of the way through.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because I'm looking at the timer and it's at 2 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
I think I need another coffee.
You know, that's fair. I do too. So this level is kind of... Honestly, all the 100 coin shines are kind of tough. Right now, it would be best if I knew what fruit Yoshi had, but my TV is too small to tell. With a good CRT, you can look at what fruit he wants from the swing, but I actually couldn't see, so I'm gonna have to go over and check real fast, which isn't a big deal. You just need to run over here. I just need to know what fruit he wants. It looks like pineapple, so that's not bad. So yeah, Gelato Beach is an interesting one to do hundreds. We actually used to do the 100 coins here. The second fastest 100 coin route, which most people still do, I think, in the Wiggler fight level. So he'd just be running around while you're collecting coins. It's kind of funny.
Why did it get switched to this one?
So the reason is because in this one, we get the blue coin under the goop with Yoshi. Before, we would get the hidden shine, which I got earlier. We would get that in Gelato 6 and use Yoshi for it. But it was timed to be faster to just use Yoshi for 100 coins and do it here. And then just do the hidden shine all alone by itself. So it mostly has to do with, since we're using Yoshi, we have to use Yoshi anyways. It's better to just use him in 100 coins. The reason that it took so long to switch over, if I had to guess, is because of the yellow coin switch. It's really annoying to get in this level, which I will show in a moment after I get these bees.
Bees! They don't want to see my bees.
I'm short on coins, that's not good.
Oh.
No, please! Okay. That
Please,
blue coin,
bees.
That blue coin can actually go out of bounds there, and that was really close.
Whew. Okay, yeah, I was looking at that, and it didn't look like it was going to be good.
Yeah, luckily I was able to get it. Also, that
Yeah.
trick I did there is called it's called Beyblade. If you do like a spin spray and do a spin jump off of a slope, you get a bunch of extra speed. Also, this is that yellow coin bun I was talking about. It's a really
Let it rip.
annoying- Yeah, it's a funny name. Yeah, that was the yellow coin button.
Very nice.
Unfortunately, I missed 2 coins from the bees, so I actually need to grab some extras. One from that caddy quack and I'll get one at the end. Oh no, Mario, not there.
Those bees think you are the bee's knees.
I get it, cause bees.
I
like
don't
it.
think bees have knees. I think that's a bee fact for you. Pretty sure they don't have them,
You know, they probably don't.
if I had to guess.
That's probably a good guess, honestly.
By the way, if you were here at the beginning of the stream and heard the frog facts, I have asked my flatmate, the biologist, for more frog facts. So hopefully we can get some frog facts.
I love frog facts. That's my favorite type of fact.
That's a good fact, honestly. Also, another reminder for chat. I am taking questions from the chat. So if you would like to ask questions about this run, about this game, please feel free to put your questions in the chat, and I will relay them all.
So yeah, that coin at the front of the like cabana, I'm not supposed to get that. I'm supposed to have extra coins, but I actually missed coins from the bees, which is weird. Usually when you miss coins in this level, you miss them from the slidey coin switch, but the bees were not being nice, so that's why that. Oh, this is a good level. So this is another level where we use the rocket nozzle, but so the sandbird, infamous for being bad. Everyone hates the sandbird. It's like an auto scroller. It's annoying, but you can actually speed it up and make it not an auto scroller by using the rocket nozzle. And I'm gonna do a bunch of cool stuff to try to make it go fast. Alright, so we call this Rocket Bird. Please don't die. Okay, that was close. So there's 4 blue coins here we need to get. That's 1. Two's right here. And then we can do a rocket storage to get to the last blue coin. This angle is kind of bad. This should be fine. I'm gonna die. Oh well. I had a bad angle there. Not a big deal. This just means I get to do it again. And it's gonna look even cooler the second time.
All right, I have a handful of questions.
Alright.
All right. From Omicron EXE, and they ask, how do you remember all of the blue coins? Is it just memorization, or do you have notes?
It's just memorization at this point. When I first started running this game, I had notes. But the more you run this game, the easier it becomes to remember where the blue coins are. Like I could list off the blue coins by location at this point. Yeah. And I said earlier that it's actually not as hard to memorize where they are as it seems, which I still think is true. It's kind
It's
of tough.
120 of them, though, isn't it?
240 actually.
240. Oops. Okay. Yeah. Double. Huh.
Yeah. It's interesting because like you learn the routes through each level, and the blue coin routes just kind of like mend together with the normal route. So eventually, it just becomes muscle memory of like getting blue coins.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So in general, I know I don't have notes. I do have them all memorized, but it did not start out that way. Also, I did a trick there at the end called rocket rollouts, where if you do a rollout and then shoot a rocket, you actually get a little bit of height, and you can do that to cover a bunch of horizontal distance.
Speaking of horizontal distance, J-Dragon has a question,
All right.
and they ask, can you perform storage with the turbo nozzle too? Also, what are the inputs to store a rocket nozzle?
You can do storage with a turbo nozzle. So the inputs for the rocket nozzle are you want to lightly hold R, so don't click all the way down. Okay, well first you want to switch to the normal spray nozzle, get in sidestep mode, then switch to rocket, and hold R lightly, and then just before the rocket goes off, you want to let go of L. And if you do that, then you won't blast off and it'll store the rocket. If you move not in a sidestep, it'll cancel the rocket storage. So, and then you can just repeat this process as much as you want. You could then go back to the spray nozzle and get in the sidestep animation again and get another rocket. And then after you have your rocket stored, you just sidestep off of a ledge. But you need to make sure you're sidestepping the whole time. Because like I said, if you walk around at all without sidestepping, then you actually lose the storage.
Is it quite similar with the turbo nozzle?
Turbo nozzle is a bit different. You need to get into sidestep mode, switch back to the turbo nozzle, go into first person mode, and then look up, and then just spray the turbo nozzle for as long as you can. And then after you're out of water or you don't want to spray anymore, you sidestep off the ledge.
Huh.
And turbo nozzle gives you a lot less height than rocket nozzle, but it still gives you some height. And the category I was talking about way earlier, no major skips, it actually does it uses turbo nozzle for the bird instead of rocket nozzle because you don't have rocket nozzle unlocked.
Huh.
So that does turbo storage for the bird. And
Okay. Is this a good time maybe for donations? Take a couple
yeah.
donations and then a couple questions.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome, thank you so much. We have a $100 donation from Care Bear 21. They say, hi, CrossFit House. I have a full heart. I'm sitting here watching this marathon with my wife and 4-year-old daughter. Cross your fingers that when she grows up, she will become a speedrunner. Put this donation towards naming Ness after my wife, Carly. And we have a $20 donation from Yuyito74. They don't say anything, but again, thank you so much. And we have a $25 anonymous donation. Again, no comment left, but every single dollar helps going towards this amazing charity. So thank you so much.
All of those no comment donations do still mean something. So
They mean so much. They mean absolutely so much. So thank you.
Yeah.
all right. Now on to a couple of questions. If that's all good with you, do you have anything to comment?
No, I'm just on a boring shine, so go for it.
All right, fair. So here we go. Let's go. Shackle Draconis has a question. They ask, have you ever had any runs where you got to the end of the run, you were one blue coin short without any idea where you'd somehow missed one?
Yeah, that's happened before. I want to say that doesn't happen a lot to like people, but even top runners that happens to sometimes. Like,
I think it's kind of unavoidable, isn't it? When you're running on like memory.
Yeah, at some point you're gonna forget a blue coin somewhere. It doesn't happen often. Like, usually I have them all, but sometimes, yeah, I miss one and I don't know where it is, and it's just not good. It has happened. I'm sure it'll happen again. Hopefully not this run.
Fingers crossed, not this run.
Yeah. The handy thing is, though, is that if you press the Z button, it brings up a little map, and you can actually check each level individually, and you can see how many coins from each level you have. So if it's 29, then you know that's where you missed a coin. So that's a little handy little thing. This mirror sucks. For some reason, this mirror just doesn't cooperate sometimes.
difficult to answer. What do you find most tedious about this game right now?
I think the most tedious thing is the cutscenes. Well, the cutscenes aren't even that bad in this game, but I'd say that's probably the most tedious thing. This game's not really that tedious, in my opinion.
And even then, the cutscenes are getting optimized out, as we discussed at the top of the run.
Yeah, exactly. So, in the end, it's not a very tedious speed game. I think it's fun. Also, this was that second blue coin I was talking about, where I can collect it while grabbing a shine. Neat little trick. I'd say like the only annoying part of this run is like this little animation where you have to like re-enter the painting. But it's not a big deal. And there's actually there's like codes you can use. They call it like, so there's a category called fast any % that uses specific cheat codes that lets you skip out all that like in between stuff. So you just go from one level to the next. And it's a pretty neat category. This is one of my least favorite shines in the game. Not as bad as King Boo, but this shine sucks.
Good time for more questions then?
Oh yeah, sure.
All right. LLWZM. When and why did you start speedrunning? Was this answered earlier? I think it was like related to the 602, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so I started late 2016, and it was because I watched the 602 in 2016's winter, and I was just motivated to learn it. And this was actually the first game I learned of all the 4.
Nice.
Yeah.
And oh no, you go first.
Oh, it wasn't real important. I was just gonna say, like, I don't know, I'm just a bit of a completionist, so running this game 100% is really cool to me.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you do any like achievement hunting or anything like that when it comes to your completionist tendencies?
Not really, not usually. I am right now trying to complete the National Pokédex in Pokemon Home, but that's gonna take a while. Yeah, and I mean, in general, I don't
That's
think
fair.
I do like achievement hunting.
Blue Boy 2K asks, what is your favorite Girl Scout cookie flavor?
That's a good question. I'm gonna have to go with Thin Mints, though. I really like those.
I think I'm gonna back you up with that. Like
Yeah, I'm
Thin
gonna
Mint.
third that.
They're really good.
Perfect. We are all in unison. This is a Thin Mint stream.
Heck yeah. Alright, so coming up after this shine is, I said earlier, this is my favorite trick in the entire run. That's still true. It's called Jelly Skip 2.0. So if you were here earlier, I did Jelly Skip, where I got a blue coin behind some goop that you normally need Yoshi for. I'm gonna get another blue coin behind some goop. I just think it looks really cool, honestly, and I really like it. It saves like 10 to 15 seconds. So first I'm gonna do like a little out of bounds glitch. I'm gonna grab a rock and also do a little out of bounds glitch. And I'm gonna grab these 2 blue coins that are actually, they're in the sewers, but you can collect them from below. Using this trick, which is faster. And I'm gonna do a little setup. And rock it right up into the blue coin. And then go over here and get this shine. So yeah, that trick's my favorite trick in this round. It just looks cool, and it's fun to do.
Completely intended strategies.
Yes, exactly. And the other thing about that trick that makes it probably even better to me is that you can fail it in so many different ways. Like, you could just be like slightly too far left or too far right or whatever. And if you're too far forward, then you actually end up going into the prison secret. Hello, can you hear me? Hello? I don't know if I'm still alive.
What's happened?
I'm scared.
think I'm alone on the stream audio right now.
Am I?
That's not ideal. Okay. Well, let's see.
Do we have time for some
Questions
donations?
from chat? Maybe we get a couple donations in here?
Awesome. We have.
Yeah.
Oh, is it okay with you,
Oh,
Claire?
can you hear me?
I
I
can
thought
hear you.
Oh, okay. I thought you couldn't hear me. I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Is it okay to get in a few donations?
Yeah,
or-
you can make donations, sure.
Okay, I think
Awesome, thank you.
we're back to normal now. I think I for some reason I couldn't hear you for a little bit there.
I gotcha. Hello.
I
welcome.
have a $15 anonymous donation donating for the Gregory Horror Story name choice. Put this donation towards a new option, Faith. Again, that bid war is still open for Gregory Horror Show, so go ahead and get in the bids for that. We have a $10 donation from Miriam23 that says, much love. Thank you very much.
Alright, so now I'm going back to do the first. Like, if you remember when I first entered Bianco Hills, I skipped the first shine. So I'm gonna go get that now. 2.5 hours into the run, I'm getting the first shine of the game. Which I think is hilarious.
Big brain strats.
Heck yeah. And like I said, scrolling from Shine 8 back to Shine 1 is faster than watching one of those cutscenes. So doing it now is just faster in general, which is kind of interesting. And we get to fight another polluted piranha plant, which, I mean, if you think about it, there was like 5 of those at the very beginning of the game, and then they disappear for the rest of the game. It's kind of weird. Like, if I did this shine where I'm supposed to do it, it would have been 4 or 5 polluted piranha plants right in a row, right after each other. So, I don't know why they did like that, and then just had them not appear ever again, but here we are. So we're gonna hit this guy and then run into the water real fast. Get this guy. So yeah.
As a reminder for chat, we're taking questions about this run and this game. So if you want to ask any questions in the chat, I will relay them on.
Yes. Okay, so the next four shines. I'm actually gonna do them in a different order depending on what RNG I get. So right at the beginning of the level is Yoshi. And I want Yoshi to have either a coconut or a banana. If he doesn't, then I'm gonna get a different shine. If he does, I'm gonna get the 100 coin shine. So it just depends what fruit he wants. Coconut's best. RNG. Oh, look at that, coconut. Okay. So first try coconut, which means I'm gonna go get 100 coins now. If it hadn't been coconut, I would have gotten the just Bianco H normally. And then if it still wasn't coconut after that, I would have gotten one of the secret shines, and the other secret shine. So I have like 4 chances for coconut or banana. Banana's also good. Yeah, just another fun time running around collecting things.
Perfect time for us to read some questions. This one comes to us from Sylvia S7. What is your favorite flood nozzle?
That's a good question. I kind of want to just say like the classic hover nozzle, but I also really like the rocket nozzle. I'm not a huge fan of the turbo nozzle, honestly, but I really like, well, I mean, it's not that I'm not a fan of the turbo nozzle, it just doesn't have as many uses as rocket nozzle and hover nozzle.
I think my favorite's the turbo, personally, just as a casual player.
Yeah, that makes sense. It definitely makes you go faster until you realize that water sliding is actually faster than using the turbo nozzle, which is kind of funny. Yeah, turbo nozzle definitely, it has its uses.
LLWZMLL asks, what is your second favorite Mario game?
Ooh. That's still just as hard as answering the first favorite Mario game.
Exactly.
Okay, so I might say I don't know. That's hard to answer. I can
Let's come back to it. If you think about it, let's come back to it.
Okay. I mean, I can tell you my favorite 2D Mario game. That would be Mario
Ew.
World. I like that game. Super
Mario World.
Heck yeah. I don't know if I could. I don't think I could say my favorite 3D game. My 3D Mario game. I just like them all too much.
So this question comes from Darling Socks, and they ask, what is the best run experience you have had, and what's been the worst?
That's an interesting question. I don't know what the best run experience I've had was.
Have you had
I
any
can't really-
particularly bad ones?
I mean, not particularly. Maybe. Okay, I keep bringing up the 602, but there was one 602 race where I was just not feeling it, and I was like halfway through Sunshine, and I was just not having a good time. And I did end up quitting that 602, which is fine. But yeah, that would probably be the one.
You can't win them all, honestly.
It's true.
Griplock MN says the 1,000-Year Door is their favorite, and I have to agree that's definitely going to be my favorite Mario game.
I've actually never played any of the Paper Mario games.
Really?
Yeah, I know that that's not a good thing, but I don't know. I just never got around to it. I've never had them as a kid.
I think that the thing that I like about Paper Mario, and also dislike about it, this is my favorite and least favorite thing about this game. It ruined every other turn-based RPG for me.
Oh, I got you.
Because action commands are the thing that kept me interested in that game's fighting. So because no other turn-based RPG really does that, aside from those Mario games, it's hard to feel like they're not missing something.
Yeah, I got you. That makes sense. So, if you remember earlier in Bianco 5, at some point, real fast, I got a few blue coins while PD was flying around.
Yep, I remember that.
I get the ones I miss now. So I got the one in the river earlier, and if you actually were paying close attention, you would see I went up to the top of the cliff, because for some reason I thought that I missed that coin, but I didn't. I got it. And then there's one more coin I missed that I actually get in the Bianco 6 red shine, which is also a really, really cool shine to watch, and hopefully I don't mess it up. So yeah. Just another thing about how blue coin routing is kind of crazy in this game.
Question here from Chaos Beer. What is your favorite secret level in Sunshine?
I really like... Oh, gee, I don't know. I like them all. That's been a common theme, but I do like them all. I might say Serena 4. Mostly just because the background is really cool. That's about it. The background is cool.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, the rest of them have the same dark background, and it's just, I don't know. I like the change of pace in Serena 4. It's fun.
Antilla9958 asks, between gathering all the blue coins in Sunshine and doing all the purple comets in Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, which one do you prefer?
I would probably say collecting blue coins in Sunshine. I don't know. Something about just having to route out where to get certain blue coins and what shines are best to do them in. I really like the routing. I really like the purple comets in the Galaxy games, but some of them are just bad. Like Battle Rock Comet, that's just an auto scroller. And
yeah,
not Comet. People who played Galaxy, they might know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I would probably say the blue coins. Something about them just makes me feel good when I collect all 240 of them.
It's got to be that nice jingle.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
Exactly. And yeah, so yeah, that was the Tielqt 3 secret level.
Getting all those red coins.
Heck yeah.
We're getting closer and closer to the end of this.
We are. There's not much left. There's what, 3 levels I need to revisit?
There's a whole bunch
4?
of yeah, just a little revisiting, and then you're gonna get the coins and go fight Bowser.
Yeah,
Wow.
pretty much. There's still all the Delfino shines. There's a bunch of shine in the Delfino Plaza. You actually don't get them until the very end of the run in this route. So that's fun.
Is there any particular reason? I assume it's related to the unlocks. Like, you have to have the turbo and rockets unlocked in order to get some of them.
Actually, after you visit Corona Mountain, those are already unlocked, like, no matter what. So it actually doesn't have anything with this. It's just because of, like, movement. So it's best to, like, move from where you start out in the plaza to get the Delfino shines versus, like, getting them from leaving a level, if that makes sense. They don't need to be at the end of the run. They could have, for instance, been right after I finished Gelato, because finishing Gelato brought me back to the main plaza. So I could have done them then. That's why I did Jelly Skip 2.0 then, is because I didn't want to do it later. Yeah, I mean, personally, I'd prefer to do them later, but there's nothing stopping you from doing them earlier. As long as you do them after you, as long as you do them after you visit Corona Mountain, and you do them like while you're at the front of the plaza, then they don't actually lose time to do them anywhere else. So yeah. Routing this game is surprisingly complicated. You'd think it would just be go from world to world and get the shines, but there's actually a lot more to it than that. Also, Bianco 8, this is a hard level. And I messed up a bit earlier, but it's not a big deal. Just another red coin shine. I'm gonna do another rocket storage to get to the top of the windmill. Oh, whoops, not that. Oh, why did I not get height? I don't know why I didn't get any height from that one. Rocket storage can be kind of finicky.
How consistent is it?
It's pretty consistent. There's a few specific spots where, like, if you're like slightly off, it doesn't work as well. Like, for instance, when I was doing Rocket Bird, doing rocket storage off of those clouds is really weird. Like, you have to be on the very edge of them for some reason. So it's consistent if you're like in the right spots. I don't know why it didn't work out well that time. So I don't know. Yeah. Ooh, this is a really fun level to watch. So this is a recent route change. You do this level with rocket nozzle instead of hover nozzle, which it's faster, but it's also like a lot harder. So I hope I don't mess it up. But first I need to get this blue coin that I missed earlier in the Tielqt 5.
How did Nintendo ever think anybody was going to find all of these?
Yeah, some of them are ridiculous. Like that one in the windows is kind of silly.
It really is, and somehow people still found that.
Yeah. What's even better about it is, depending on what mission you're on, it can either be in the left window or the right window. For some reason, it just changes positions. I don't know why.
Huh.
Like, if I were to get it in Bianco 5, it would have been in the opposite window.
That's gotta be some sort of, like, just weird inconsistency with how the levels are actually, like, how the level geometry is actually being set up.
I don't know, maybe. There's a lot of weird things, like where blue coins just move, depending on what level you're in. A lot of them are just kind of ridiculous.
Because obviously it's loading variables each and every individual shine, right? So, like, it's probably a case of one of those variables just getting mixed up in one version and nobody noticing.
Possibly. I think that an odd number shines, it's actually always in the left window, and an even number, it's in the right window. Whoa, I did 2 rocket storages. I didn't mean to do that. Uh-oh. Pretend I didn't mess this shine up and it looked really cool and it was just really cool.
It was the sickest thing ever. You did it. Congrats.
It was awesome.
You did it flawlessly, and there is no mistakes, and nobody can prove otherwise. And
Literally.
that's the most important thing.
Well, I kind of need to just wait. Please. Okay. I'm kind of low on water now, which is unfortunate. And I have 30 seconds left. I like how I said earlier that, you know, the timers aren't a big deal in the speedrun, yet here I am.
Here we are,
Possibly
anxiously
running out of-
worrying about a
I
timer.
died! Whoops.
F.
I thought it was a red platform cycle. Whatever. Now you just get to
It
see
happens.
it. Now you just get to see it like actually good. Just pretend that didn't happen and this is the first time I'm doing this shine.
Come on, you can do it first try.
Heck
First
yeah.
try every
It's the hard-
time.
It's like one of the hardest shines in the game, so hopefully I get it first try.
First try. Come on. Let's go.
Oh, I missed a coin. Oh no. That's not that big of a deal. Kind of upset I missed the shine, but it's not a big deal.
You got this.
Thank you. I'll try my best.
This is the point where if we had a live audience,
I-
they'd be cheering. Come on.
Hold on. Hold that thought, because, yeah. This is the first time I'm doing this shine.
This is the first time.
Okay,
It's
in my
happening.
defense, I'm gonna defend myself here. This is like a really hard shine to do with the rocket nozzle.
Yeah.
A lot of like precise movement. So, while I am bad, I like to think it's not only because I'm bad. Well, this is the first try. Let's go. First try on a really hard shine.
First try. God, that dive is terrifying.
Yeah, this shine's really terrifying in like a lot of spots.
What? What? Just
Yeah,
that blue platform. What?
yeah, that one's a scary one. That's like the scariest part of the shine. Wow, I got it first try.
Wow.
Let's go.
First try. We did it.
Heck yeah.
Pog. God, I just said Pog out loud. What am I becoming?
Yeah, Twitch chatter. Hi, chat.
No! The worst fate.
Dang, rip chat. I still love you, chat.
We love you, chat.
Yeah, this is one of those cases where turbo nozzle comes in handy because for some reason these sewers, when you're using turbo nozzle, don't have collision to them, so I can just kind of run through them really fast and get the blue points. And then coconut lady. Oh, I can't wait to do the durian lady. She's infamous.
Any particular reason why?
Because she's kind of hard to do. Casually, she's like really tough because you need to kick durians like across the lake, and it's just like kind of tough. Luckily, speedrun-wise, it shouldn't be a huge problem.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, hopefully.
As always.
Exactly.
Boom. And off we go to Pinna Park.
Finishing up Pinna Park. Pinna Park is a short one because we did Pinna 2 reds earlier. So Pinna Park should be pretty fast. Because we only need to get 3 shines here. And this is another kind of RNG bit. I need to check Yoshi what he wants.
Let's find out what Yoshi wants.
That's the worst RNG.
What does Yoshi want? What does Yoshi need?
Heckin' coconuts. The fun thing about this level is you can actually only enter the secret if you're orange Yoshi. So I need to make sure I eat that papaya. And kind of weird they did.
Did that Koopa just go flying?
I
After
think
you,
did he? I didn't see it.
it looked like he
After-
just went absolutely flying after getting grabbed by the Yoshi tongue.
Maybe he. Well, when you grab him with the Yoshi tongue, he just like flies into Yoshi's mouth immediately. So maybe that's what it was.
I must not have seen that animation because it just looked like he just got yeeted by the tongue.
Maybe.
Absolutely yeeted. Is this a good time for donations, or do you need to focus?
You can do donations. In a particularly tough shine.
Awesome, thank you so much. We have $20 from Leggy Starscream. Hey, Frame Fatales, this is such a wonderful event and community, and I'm honored to contribute as much as I am. Good luck to all the runners, and a special shout out to everyone behind the scenes who make this event go. Donation goes to getting my couch to meme. We have a $15 anonymous donation. They just have a smiley face emoji. Thank you very much.
Oh,
We have a $5 donation from Werewolves that says, werewolves need more frog facts.
Unfortunately, my flatmate has not gotten back to me with more frog facts. Maybe I can go poke him real quick and see if I can get some.
I love frog facts.
Right?
They're great.
I love froglets. That's my favorite thing I've learned all day.
Yeah, that's
Froglets,
amazing.
it blew my mind when I learned that they were called froglets when they're like in between adult and tadpole.
I love that so much.
I'm going to tell
Froglets.
everybody at work tomorrow about froglets.
That's amazing.
Froglets!
That's such a good. I love that.
All right, I'm gonna go see if I can get more frog facts. Give me a minute.
Okay, I believe in you.
In the meantime, we have a $25 anonymous donation. Again, no comment, but it helps so much. Thank you so much. And also another $25 anonymous donation with no comment. Thank you guys. You guys are amazing. We are raising so much for this amazing charity. Thank you guys so much.
Yes, thank you, everybody. We're all good.
Good little froglets.
Yes. Now I want a pet froglet.
We have a $10 anonymous donation that says, video games.
True.
I agree.
I just came back and I just heard video game. True, I agree.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yep.
You don't. That's really all the context there is for that.
I mean, that's yeah. You know, fair enough.
So yeah, this level I'm pretty much just kind of spraying the ground and getting coins out of it. Just need to make sure I get some of these new coins that are just chilling.
Maybe a couple more donations then.
Yeah, that works.
Sure thing. I've got a $25 donation from Bob. No comment, but thank you so much. I have a $5 donation from Shelly. No comment, but again, every single bit helps, so thank you so much for that.
All right. As a reminder for chat as well, we're taking a couple questions. We're getting close to the end of the run here. So if you have some questions about this run, about this game, now is a great chance to try and get them in.
Real fast, I just want to point out, if you remember earlier when I was doing Pinna 2, I said something like, oh, this blue coin, I don't need to get here, I can get it later, but it's nice to get here. That blue coin I would get right now. There's actually a cool little glitch you can do to clip inside of the basket that's furthest in the back. And yeah, you can just clip into that with Yoshi. And if I had gotten different RNG on Pinna 2, I would have gotten that blue coin now instead of then. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that.
Jedi Dynamo asks, what is your favorite ride in Pinna Park?
Ooh. I like the roller coaster ride that goes all around. Because like I feel like if you were on that, it would just be cool because you'd see the whole park going all around. I think that would be awesome. I would definitely ride that ride. Speaking of that ride, this is the infamous balloon mission where you need to shoot down 20 balloons from the sky. That a lot of people think is really hard, and it is. But hopefully, I don't mess it up too badly.
You got this. First try.
If
First
your
try.
motion's sick, you might want to turn away for this shine.
Okay. Yep. Good idea.
It's kind of crazy. Hopefully, I can get them in one cycle. You have 3 goes around the roller coaster, but if I do it right, I should do it in one. Yeah. It's actually a cool little trick you can do, which if you hold down R, like not all the way in, and then you shoot the rocket, it's actually consistent, like where you aim. Otherwise, it's just annoying and it can go off wherever it wants to. Like it can go either higher or lower than where you shoot it. But if you hold in R before shooting it, then it actually just goes exactly where you're aiming, which is definitely nice for this mission. Oh, I got that one.
Got another question?
In just a second. I'm just about to finish this one.
Yep.
That was actually a perfect pin of 8. I got it before my first trip around.
Hey!
That's what you want it to look like in a good speedrun. Yeah. But sure, questions. I can do that.
All right, question. This comes from Duck Game for Life, who asks, which color Yoshi is the best?
I personally like the purple Yoshi the best. I think it looks really cool, and the juice looks really cool too.
I'm inclined to agree. I think purple Yoshi is the best.
Yeah, I love the purple Yoshi, honestly. So now I'm gonna get this bluebird, which I was with the. If I weren't doing Jelly Skip 2.0, I would have gotten it with Yoshi earlier on, but since I am, I'm getting it. And it wasn't very nice to me. I need to go all the way into the water for the coin, but it's not a big deal. Oh, I need to get out of here. Get out of the water. So yeah, I just want to get out. That bird can be kind of annoying. All the birds in this game can be annoying. I don't know why.
Alex DiBello asks, who is your favorite character in Sunshine?
That's a good question. I kind of like Bowser Jr. I think that he's a really good character. Spoiler alert, even though it's not really a spoiler. The cutscenes I skipped earlier in Pinna Park revealed that Shadow Mario is Bowser Jr. They're the same thing. So,
yep.
For those who didn't know, there you go. But yeah, I really like Bowser Jr. Like he says, I don't know. I think he has like a unique character arc for like a Mario game. Like going through the whole thing of thinking Peach is his mom.
Yeah. I think that brush thing is sick though.
Yeah, I think so too. That brush thing was created by Professor Egad. For those who are into their Super Mario lore. That was the guy from Luigi's Mansion.
That's like some deep lore stuff there.
It's true.
Ugh, what the heck? Why did he do that?
I don't know. Flood was also created by Egad, fun fact.
Again, Egad. We gotta have words.
Yeah, what the heck?
What the heck are you doing? You're making weird vacuums, paintbrushes, and you're just making weird things. Why are you doing this? What do you gain? What is his dark purpose?
Who knows? I actually don't know why he did that, but he did. And yeah, during one of those cutscenes we skip, it actually shows the paintbrush, and Bowser Jr. is like, "Oh, a dude in a white lab coat gave it to me." And it's a whole thing. If you wanted to, those cutscenes are actually pretty good. Unfortunate that we only skipped the good cutscenes. Okay, so this yellow bird's kind of annoying, but there you go.
Ikimik asks, what was the hardest part about learning pathing?
Um, I don't know. I have personally, I have a problem where I just get like really bored with learning like routing and stuff. So the hardest part for me was probably just doing it, like finishing through it. But in general, there's like some levels that have like it's because if there's like a trick that you don't know how to do and you're like a beginner, well then you need to like reroute where to get blue coins, and that can be really frustrating if you're a beginner and there's like not a beginner route, and say like you do a trick that skips a blue coin and you come back for it later. What if you don't do that trick? When do you get that blue coin? It can be kind of frustrating as a beginner. There's not too much like that in this game, but there's some stuff.
Honestly, it just seems like it's a lot of complex platforming and movement, so it's a lot of just nailing those jumps and sorting that out over time.
Yeah, for sure. The more you play, like, the more you'll like get used to the movement and stuff, and you'll just get naturally better as time goes on. But it's definitely a lot to remember.
Do you do this is a question for me. Do you do any like challenge runs or anything like that? Not necessarily for Mario games, but for just something in general.
I don't. What do you mean? Like, do you mean like a speed run type thing, or just like?
I'm meaning like let's just use an example. You want to complete a game of Slay the Spire without using one specific type of card.
Gotcha.
That's the sort of thing I'm meaning.
I see. I don't know if I really do challenges like that. I think that those are fun. I just don't really know. Like, I don't know. It's hard for me to like. Okay, let me restart my sentence here.
Yeah, collect your thoughts.
Not really, but I do think that those are like interesting concepts, and I would like to do more of them. There is one with this game actually. You can actually beat this entire game 100% except for 4 blue coins without using the hover nozzle at all.
Huh.
Yeah, so there's 4 blue coins that you can't get, and those are in Noki 8. Other than that, you can get every shine and blue coin in the entire game.
So what you're saying is that's a pretty good incentive for the next GDQ. Would do a hoverless 100%.
I was thinking about making that an incentive, but I figured that I just didn't have enough time to learn it. But if I ever submit this again, I would make that an incentive.
How much of a time difference is there between doing a hoverless version of 120 shines and doing the regular version?
The world record for hoverless 120 is 3 hours and 13 minutes. So, but that's also just not very optimal. So I would say like if that time were brought down, it would be like 10 minutes only. Not nearly as much as you'd expect.
No, yeah, I was expecting that difference to be more like 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's not that bad actually. If I learned how to do it, I could probably submit something like that if I ever were to submit this game again.
I'll tell you one thing, I would put in money for that because that sounds like a wild time.
Yeah, this has a lot of shines where it would like be just big change, big routing things.
You have to imagine because so many of them are going to be dependent on just perfect hovers.
Yeah,
We're just doing weird things with hovers.
Yeah, I've seen a hoverless run and it is pretty cool. Lots of things you wouldn't even think of. Also, I missed a blue coin there, which if it looked like I was backtracking, it's because I was and I missed a blue coin. But I got the 100 coin shine and now I can just jump up and grab it. Oh, I fell. No,
Gosh,
don't
this
fall
level
down.
looks really cool aesthetically.
Yeah, this level is really cool. Like, it just looks great.
Nice save, by the way.
Thank you. I was afraid I was gonna fall and die and be sad.
I was also afraid that you were going to fall, die, and be sad.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been a good time. So yeah. And after Noki Bay, I think all I have is Serena Beach, and then the Delfino Shines, and then Rico Harbor, and then I'm done. So we're getting close. We have like half an
You're
hour.
on PB pace at least, I think.
I wish. Not quite.
Oh, you off? Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's still little. By like
Okay.
10 minutes.
Oh no. Okay.
That's fine.
So
Assuming I don't play like garbage, I should still come underestimate, which is always nice.
you always want to come underestimate. You don't want to be like Kizaron and get banned.
That's true. The thing, see, I made my estimate 330, which is crazy to think about, because like a year ago, I was grinding for sub 330. Like I could not do it, and now I'm like on like a really bad run, and I can totally still do it. So I think that's kind of neat.
It's always a big confidence booster.
It's true when you like look back and see how much you've improved over like a certain amount of time.
Got a lot of people in the chat who are now interested in seeing that hoverless run. So it definitely seems like if you are submitting Mario Sunshine at some point, hoverless would be a great incentive.
I'll keep that in mind. Hoverless, it's definitely a cool category.
It seems like it because you can't fall back on the hover. You have to actually have like extreme precision on your execution.
Yeah, a lot of things are really tough. Like the eel shine from earlier, doing that hoverless is really hard.
Man, I don't even want to think about it.
And the shine I'm about to do is probably like the main reason people don't run hoverless very often. Is just ridiculously hard.
A lot of precision platforming coming up.
Not really, but like when you're in this water, the only way to go up is with the hover nozzle. You like have no other option.
Huh.
So you pretty much have to do it all while falling down. And coincidentally, the 4 blue coins I'm about to get are also the 4 blue coins that you can't get without the hover nozzle. So good time.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. The red coin fish, it's really hard. I've done it hoverless before. You need to like go into a very specific spot and just like all the coins just kind of fly into you. It's kind of funny, but it's tough. But luckily, I don't have to do that right now.
No, we're not too concerned with hoverless.
No, not at the moment.
Chaos Beer has a question for you. How many run attempts have you lost to the last Bowser fight?
Ooh, that's a good question. I actually don't know if I've ever lost a PB there. I've lost time there on PB runs, but I don't think I've ever gotten there and like the Bowser fight made or break the run. I could be like just forgetting something, but I don't think that that's ever happened. But I do die there a lot. It's a hard level.
I was under the impression that it was relatively consistent to do that final Bowser fight at least.
There's a few things that can go wrong. Specifically, like he jumps sometimes and like goop flies out of the hot tub. And if you get hit by that and you're over like the void, then you die. And there's nothing you can really do about it. And there's just some ridiculous things like that. And the collision with the platforms isn't very good. So
Gotcha.
there's a lot of places you can just make a mistake like that.
And it's just a case of c'est la vie. It happens.
Yeah, pretty much. Worst case scenario, it loses like maybe 40 seconds. So it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, it's just a reload and you're at that checkpoint anyway, eh?
Yeah, pretty much. Oh heck. Earlier I messed up the movement in this level. This is my chance to redeem myself. Let's go. Heck yeah, that's how that's supposed to look. I
All
missed
right. I'm just gonna take another quick break. I'm gonna be right back.
Okay. So yeah, what I tried to do there was do a triple jump, and then I could wall kick and then hover up here without breaking those blocks, but I kind of messed it up. There's backup for it, but I'm not good at the backup, so I just break the blocks usually. You know, I think this is my favorite red coin shine in the secret level. I really like the movement here. I kind of messed up, but it's not bad. It's really fun to do. Alright, another red coin shine. This second half of the run is mostly just cleaning up stuff that I wasn't able to do earlier. Ow, that was a wall. So yeah. Once again, if you weren't here earlier, there's a cool trick in this shine that lets me skip all the casino garbage. Like normally you need to like play slots for like an hour and then flip some images to get to the pipe, but you can actually just jump over top of the like wall, which is kind of funny. Just hover up here and then you sidestep over, which that's actually another really easy trick to do. Please.
First try.
Heck yeah. Hi, welcome back.
Welcome. Thank you.
Oh, I missed a coin. That's not good.
So, good news for chat. I think you'll be quite happy to hear this, chat.
Is it more frog facts?
It's frog facts. But
Yay.
this is frog facts with a catch.
Ooh.
Here's the
mystery.
catch. I want to see a $5 donation train. All just saying frog facts.
Dang.
I want to see if we can get up to 3,800 real quick. 3,700. I'll be a little less ambitious. 3,700. You can get frog facts. Donation train.
I
Let's
think
go.
it's worth it. I would pay to see frog facts. In fact, I would pay if I wasn't speedrunning right now.
Yeah, you need to focus on the run. I've got the fun fact.
Right. So, I hope we get more frog facts. Okay, so the 100 coin mission here is done in Serena 7, which is kind of an interesting choice, you might think, and it is an interesting choice. The reason is because there's a bunch of blue coins that you can only get in Serena 7, and it just saves time to get them here and do 100 coins here. Get some coins outside the hotel and then I go inside. These torches can be really annoying, by the way. Sometimes they just don't drop coins. And it's just not fun.
Gotta love inconsistencies
Yeah, there's
when
a lot of
doing
those in this
speed
game.
runs.
For sure.
I'm seeing some donations coming in. I'm watching the ticker go up a little bit.
Heck yeah.
For the frog facts, people. We can do this. And for the Malala Fund. Let's get some education to young girls all around the world and fund this awesome cause.
It's true. Goes to a good cause, and as an addition, you get frog facts. I mean, there's no downsides here.
There's no downside. It's a win-win.
Exactly. This level is a really interesting one for movement because there's so much like tight spaces that you need to like go through. So it's really interesting for like the movement. It's also just really hard.
Do we have a minute for some frog facts donation?
Yes.
I think we do.
I have Choco13 with $5 for frog facts. I have Anonymous with $5 for frog facts. Barf Ghost for $5 for frog facts. A Silent Harmony for $5 for frog facts. And the Mysterious GX81 with $5 for frog facts height.
All right. We're almost at the goal. I'll give you a little taste. We'll give you a little taste for now. Frogs that are native to Aotearoa, New Zealand, do not have ears.
How do they hear?
I don't know, but they don't have ears.
What? You can like that blew my mind.
Maybe they don't need to hear. I don't know. That's actually maybe possible because here's a New Zealand fact. New Zealand doesn't have has an ecosystem without any real natural predators for a lot of animals.
Really?
Yeah, for example, you can't find snakes here. They don't exist. Literally none.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I got a frog fact and a New Zealand fact. That's insane.
There you go. It's a bonus. We just need to get up to 3,700 and we can unlock a bunch more frog facts.
We have another $5 donation from MK205, frog facts.
Heck yeah. I love frog facts.
Going into this run, I did not know I would be learning frog facts, but I'm very excited that I've been learning frog facts.
It's a pleasant surprise.
I didn't know that I would be bringing frog facts to the people, but here we are.
Here we are. Verifage with $5 says, did someone say frog facts? We have $5 from Fact Frog that says frog facts.
Nice.
I love it.
Thank you to Fact Frog.
Thank you.
Oh man, I'm seeing some of these frog facts right now. We are well above $3,700. Holy cow.
Yeah, we
Great.
got even another $5 anonymous for frog facts.
And did we get a bigger donation there?
I have a $50 with no comment from Bean Jammin'. Thank you
Aw.
so much, Bean Jammin'.
Thank you. You know what? We've reached our goal. So, this is it. Frog facts. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
I'm so ready for this.
A group of frogs is called an army. It's an army of frogs.
That's adorable.
Every time a frog brewmates, it strengthens the layers of its bones.
How do they do that, though?
That's terrifying.
I don't know, but they get stronger bones every time they brewmate. Male Darwin's frogs swallow their tadpoles as they hatch and store them in their vocal pouch. After 6 days, he will upchuck fully formed froglets.
That's that's interesting. See, that one got me because why he eats his babies?
No, just hatches them in his vocal cords.
Eats them but doesn't swallow them.
Let's see. Frogs have permeable skin and don't generally consume water through their mouths. This makes them susceptible on a genetic level to water pollutants.
Dang. Interesting. Real
New
fast,
Zealand native froglets do not have a tadpole stage and hatch from eggs as near fully formed frogs.
So they like hatch as froglets? That's crazy.
Yeah, they hatch as froglets.
That's great.
There is an Indonesian species of frog which has no lungs at all and breathes entirely through its skin.
So like one type of frog drinks through its skin, the other type breathes through its skin. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yep, it's just wild.
That is crazy.
And here's the last one I think we've got. The absolute chonkiest frog in the world is the Goliath frog. It lives in West Africa and can measure over a foot in length and weigh over 7 pounds, which is about equal to a newborn child.
I love that. I love frogs. Thank you.
Thank you as well. I would like to shout out, thank you, Feliday Bay, for providing all of the frog facts. He's my flatmate and has provided me with these glorious frog facts. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate the frog facts.
I too appreciate the frog facts.
We got a donation with a frog fact from a cute fish 213 for $5. It says,
Bring
frog
it in.
fact number 1, frogs are green. Frog fact number 2, frogs can sometimes be not green.
I was going to say, we have, in our house right now, we have some green and golden bell frogs. And they are decidedly not green. They're a little bit more brownish at the moment.
Got a couple more frog ones if you want.
Bring them on.
Lily152, $15. If I donate $15, does that mean I get 3 frog facts? And Miss Bear with $5 was gonna buy McDonald's, but hashtag frog facts are better.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad that everyone is entertained by frog facts. Thank you all for donating as well to get frog facts. We appreciate it. The Malala Fund appreciates it. I'm having a lot of fun with this, so thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. So I didn't point it out, but if you're watching during Pachinko Machine, that's like an infamously hard level that everyone hates, and I did it fast. And
you did it extremely fast. In fact, I'm
great
sorry for not highlighting it.
Oh, it's okay. It's great because like normally you're supposed to like get each one individually and like get the shine, but if you do it right, you can just get all of them in one go and then go straight to the shine. So it's actually a really hard level turned like not so bad. It's hard to do. Like getting used to the movement there is really hard, but it's not as hard. It's a good shine. At least good to watch.
Yeah, Dullstar2X here says, casually, the Pachinko machine is so hard and the physics are strange. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's a really dumb shine. Definitely took a lot of practice to get down doing it that fast.
Firebird asks, is Ribbit the new honk?
I'm okay with that. I like frogs and I like Ribbit. So.
Honk.
not to say I don't like honk, but
I'm a bird. I'm bird, so I gotta be biased.
You know that
Sorry.
makes that that's fair. So here's the durian blue coin. This one's also infamous. There's a lot of infamous things in this game that like speedrunners just kind of like do. So instead of like going one by one, kicking these guys across the lake, I'm not only going to bring all 3 at once, but I'm also going to bring over 3 pineapples. Oh, that was a bad angle. I lost one. It died. That's unfortunate. So imagine I had 3 here. The other one died. I'm gonna have to get it later. But
You did it first try. First try.
yeah, exactly.
Every time.
Oh, I actually lost all 3 of them.
So this is Super Mario Strikers, right? What we're seeing right now?
Yeah, exactly. We're playing soccer.
Okay, perfect.
Or football.
I just wanted to clarify. We switched games midstream, so it is now Super Mario Strikers, everyone.
Yes, exactly. So just pretend I did all this with the Durians first time, not the second time. Wow, I did it.
Crushed
So,
it.
yeah, you just kind of launch them across the lake.
Boop.
Which is interesting because, like, a lot of people think this is, like, a really hard blue coin. And it is, but when you practice it for a bit, it's not that bad. And I still mess it up all the time, like right now. I'm messing it up real bad right now. Just pretend I'm not messing up, and then that's cool.
Greasy Goblin has a question that I know the answer for. Would you mind if I take this?
Sure.
So, Greasy Goblin asks, what are the blue coins for, and how many are there? So there are 240 blue coins, and where they all are, like, they allow you to purchase other Shine Sprites. 24 of them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a house you can visit. Where'd my pineapple go? Yeah, there's a house you can visit right near Rico Harbor that you can turn in blue coins for shines, and 10 blue coins gets you 1 shine.
Housed by a couple of Tanukis, right?
Yes, exactly. Also, I am messed up. That's okay. I promise I don't always am bad at this shine.
Sometimes it just happens. You gotta roll with, like I said earlier, you gotta roll with punches.
Exactly. Like I lost a pineapple. I don't know where I lost a pineapple. It just went away.
Poof.
Yeah,
Pineapples are made of magic.
It's true. A lot of people don't know that, but it is a true fact.
That's why they taste good to some people and taste bad to others.
It's true. Do you like pineapples?
I do not, unfortunately.
I don't either. I don't.
Most fruit tends to not agree with me on like a textural basis.
Yeah, that makes sense. Pineapples have a very specific texture, I feel. Yeah, I don't know. Personally, not a fan, but that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I get the blue coins. Pretend I did that all perfectly, and I got the blue coin, and then I got the shine.
Absolutely perfect. You did it.
Just pretend I did the run perfectly and finished like half an hour ago, and we're good.
Yeah. No, you did it. Perfect.
Thank you.
Congrats on your new world record.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Also, I'm not so sure I'm gonna get below estimate anymore.
Uh-oh.
Oh, well, it won't be very much. It'll be like a minute maybe.
We're still on schedule. We're still on schedule. We're doing good. We're doing good.
I forgot coins. Oh, man. This is what happens. This is what happens when nerves. I was supposed to get coins here earlier. Just pretend I got coins there earlier. Just pretend I got coins earlier, and yeah. Alright, the rest of the run's gonna be perfect.
We're almost at $3,800 now, folks, by the way. Like, we're getting there. 10 more dollars will put us over to $3,800. We're getting close to like a $4,000 milestone. That's really great, guys. Keep those donations coming. Speaking of donations.
Oh, hey, that's me.
Hey, hi donations.
Hi. As a side note, a file name choice that you might find interesting that's now an option because someone bid for it to be for Code Lyoko is
Oh, please.
Frog Facts.
Yes!
I don't know.
Yes!
Please. I hope.
Give me more power.
We have a $5 donation from LB115 that says, aha, Yahoo!
Yahoo! That's pretty much these games in one sentence.
It's me, Mario.
That's really good.
That's so good.
Hello.
It basically feels like I'm playing Mario 64.
Now all you need to do is just stretch my face out in weird ways.
True.
That was always the most fun part, right?
I think so.
Yes.
I remember spending a lot of time messing with that face.
Yeah, me too. I had the DS version when I was a kid, so I would do that on that. I don't remember how it worked. I think there was also Yoshi you could do it with on there. That was
I only had original hardware.
dang.
N64.
N64 is good, so that's valid.
That was a great console.
It really was. Also, I just want to point out real fast. When you get a Delfino Shine, the amount of coins you have stays. So I left the airstrip with 99 and was able to just grab 1 coin to get the 100 coin shine here. And now I'm going to do a cool trick called DeLorean. I don't know why it's called DeLorean, like the car, but here it is.
We're gonna go back to the future.
Yeah, exactly. There it is. So, if you missed it,
What?
I did. I backflipped and threw a banana, and I instantly warped down into the building. It's a really cool trick. It saves like 3 seconds, but it looks cool, so I like to do it. Yeah, so a fun little,
Oh my goodness.
fun little DeLorean there.
I love when things break in that way.
Yeah, I really like that trick. And now, if you remember earlier, I said I was going to do this whole level without using a blooper at all. I'm going to do that now. Which, by the way, I don't know if you know this, but for some reason, if this is the exact same shine, you just do it twice. I don't know why they made you do it that way. Like, it's not like there's red coins or anything. Like, there's a slightly stricter time limit, but that's it. It's weird. It's like, I already did this. But here we are again. And yeah, pretty much just the same stuff.
Advanced blooper tactics.
Yes. Where
Just
you
go
don't-
over the roof and ignore the blooper entirely.
Yeah, pretty much. So, for those who weren't here earlier, there's like 2 checkpoints I need to make sure I grab before returning to the finish line. And if I do that, I can switch without writing the blooper at all. Please give me shine. So I have 222 blue coins out of 40, and 2 more shines to get. So we're getting there. We only have about like less than 10 minutes. It's pretty good.
Is there time for a donation?
Yes, you do.
Thank you. I have $50 from Royal Blue Wizard. They say, glad to be supporting an excellent charity, and Frame Fatales is always a fun event. Shout out to the RPG Valkyries. Good luck to all of the wonderful runners, and less than 3 to list star. Also, this one's for Leggy Starscream's Dungeon Dice Monster script reading, because those are always a hilarious ride, and with that donation, we have met the incentive for that, so that fantastic script reading will be happening. Thank you guys so much. I'm
Yay!
so stoked.
I'd clap, but I can't. Yay!
Yeah, you've got both hands occupied. I've got the f***ing covered. We're good.
All right,
We're functioning as a full human.
Heck yeah.
Seeing some Waluigi dabs in response to that. Fantastic. I didn't know Waluigi dabbing was an emote, and now I do, and my life has been improved.
Yeah, honestly, that's great. Luigi dabs and Mario and Rabbids. So.
Does he?
Yeah, or I don't know if he dabs in the actual game, but like there's a trailer where he dabbed, like an official trailer.
Oh my goodness.
Kind of hilarious.
Nintendo had to approve of Luigi dabbing.
This, I'd love to think about that.
you love to think about the weird stuff that like you have to do to like get various things approved by license holders.
Yeah.
Like
That's
just Sonic flosses in the Sonic the
yeah.
Hedgehog movie.
Not to
Um,
spoil it or anything, but he does it
Not
twice.
to spoil it, but he does floss. So someone at Sega had to approve of that. They had to see it with their own eyes and consciously think about and approve of that concept.
I love that. That's so funny.
The inner machinery of copyright.
It's crazy. Oh, Mario. What? I don't mess with. So I'm going to do a neat little glitch here. Basically, for some weird reason, if you touch the ceiling of the sewer, Mario's hitbox gets all weird. So I can do that to just kind of like bump into that spider and he dies. Normally you're supposed to eat him with Yoshi, but for some reason Mario can just kind of eat him or like just attack him and he dies. I don't know why he does that. Okay, so I just thought about this, you know, just popped into my brain. I don't know where, but there's about 5 minutes left.
Yeah, because what we have to do now is we have to buy a bunch of shines after we collect 2 more. Is that correct?
One more. The
One more.
96. The last shine comes from defeating Bowser.
Oh.
Nice, I missed the coin. So basically, right after this shine, I turn in my blue coins and then I go by Bowser, and that's the end. Pretend I didn't miss that blue coin real fast. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's all good. You first try every time.
Didn't happen.
Let's go. You didn't bonk there either.
So yeah, another thing from that sewer glitch is I can attack this spider from the bottom and like he'll die. I don't know why either. There's another side effect which makes durians go like really far. For like it's weird. Like if you kick a durian, it goes really far. If you touched the ceiling of a sewer earlier, which is a very strange side effect of that. But it happens.
Video games.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like we think of like it's fun to meme like, oh, what a broken game, when in reality all video games are just held together with duct tape and bubble gum, and every released game is a miracle.
It's true, and there's also a bunch of like ones and zeros somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there, something is converting that to ones and zeros, and that's incredible.
That is incredible.
Thanks, video games.
Go video games. Let's go.
Let's go video games.
Yeah.
Do you have time for another quick few donations?
I believe so.
All right, we've got $5 from Vanished Hero. Frog Game Fact: the only froggish main character inside a JRPG is Froggy in Chrono Trigger. Good luck to all the runners, and I like to support speed run streams, especially when there's something about frogs inside. And also $5 from Vicarious Vice, Toad Facts.
I don't have any Toad facts. I have a GDQ fact though. We have reached $3,800. $3,800.
That's a lot of money.
Thank you for all of your donations so far to the Malala Fund, folks. It makes a difference. Every dollar that you can chip in counts. And now you can put it towards Frog Facts in the Code Lyoko DS run that's coming up later this evening. I believe that's scheduled to start around, let's say, midnight PST. That's 3 a.m. EST.
I'll probably watch it. My sleep schedule is bad, so I'll probably watch it.
And that run's being done by Aeon as well. Got raided when AGD last event, and broke the world record in Valkyria Chronicles.
Dang.
Or sorry, no, Xenoblade. And then they went to someone else who was doing Valkyria. They hosted someone else who was doing Valkyria, and they got a world record in that game.
That's crazy. So there we are. 240 blue coins, 95 shines. That's all of them. That's all of the coins in the game, and all the shines in the game except for Bowser. So we did it. I didn't miss any. That's good.
Yes.
That's a good sign. Fortunately, I'm overestimate, but that's okay. I'm gonna go my absolute speediest for this last bit.
This is the end game, folks.
Yes, exactly.
I do have one last question. That's actually, I think I saved this one because I thought it'd be best for the end game.
Gotcha.
And so the question I have, this is from KJK 2016. Where do I start if I want to do a speed run in SMS? Any tips?
I think my biggest tip is to join the Discord. There's a lot of cool people there who can help you with any questions you have, and you can find routes there. You can find all kinds of routing information. You can find all kinds of things. It's just a great hub for like everything you need to know. But other than that, I mean, like, if you have the game and you have the time, then I think I recommend it. It's a really fun run. It has a bunch of resources on Discord, which you can find. I think I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like 99.9% sure at the spinner.com page for Sunshine.
I was about to say that probably makes the most sense, eh?
Yeah. Alright, so back into the mountain.
Let's get some expert boat steering. Let's go.
I'm actually really bad at the boat. You can do this boat incredibly quickly, but I always just play it really safe because I'm scared.
I mean, that's fair. It's a marathon setting.
Yeah. And so this time instead of getting blue coins, I'm gonna rocket storage up past the clouds.
Let's go.
Great.
Oh, it does not get old.
Honestly.
It just goes so fast.
Yeah, it's great. If you store enough rockets, you can like sidestep off the ledge and then just the entire screen pretty much is just blue because you're in the sky. It's hilarious.
If you store enough rockets and collect enough coins, one day you can run Super Mario Sunshine.
It's true. I feel like that's a reference to something, but I don't know what.
If it's a reference to something, the reference is also lost on me.
Alright, well, that's good. Well, ignore them. Alright. So yeah, this is pretty much it. You just ground pound these 5 things, and as soon as I hit the last one, run's done.
Alright, so we're coming up on time.
Yes, in just a couple seconds actually. And time. Woo! That's it. I did it.
Hooray!
That's all the shines in the game and stuff.
Hooray for video games. We did it. Thank you so much for doing this run, and thanks for having me on Couch. It was an absolute blast.
No problem. Thank you to all the crew for letting me run this and, you know, setting up the marathon and all that stuff. That's like hard. So thank you. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for letting me do this run. And thank you for commentating with me. And just thank you everybody. I really appreciate it. Alrighty.
All right. Beautiful.
That was such an amazing run. Thank you so much, Claire. That was so fun. We have one more frog related donation for you guys from Dr. Frog for $5. Amphibians who are careful with their words have frog tact. Those who forge alliances create frog packs. One part of a frog play is a frog act. And if one hits you, you got frog smacked. Hashtag frog facts, hashtag frog fatales. And with that, we're going to go ahead and send it over to an ad. Thank you guys so much.